Yeah, but when you have your own cannon, unless you set up a berm, it's like, how would you berm your entire property?
Well, currently, we're shooting slightly downhill into a slough down at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, but a slough is not a berm.
No, but a slough's a better trap.
But if you put a berm on the other side of the slough, let's just throw out weird with the other side of the slough. Slough berm. Slough berm sounds like something I don't want to drink. Stop counting things. You and your MacGuffins. Yeah, but see, if you do the laser lipo, you're not getting your fat pulled out so that we can turn it into soap to sell to rich people.
Who the fuck are you, Brad Pitt?
Yes. I'm the narrator, obviously.
Apparently, I want to destroy something beautiful.
Yes. I am Jack's irritated nipple. Get your rucksack on.
Ruck you.
Go get your ruck on.
I'll ruck all day.
Get your rucks on and your rucks off.
There you go.
Oh, God.
I had football and baseball and other stuff I was doing.
And I was in Cub Scouts, once again. And hold on. Now I'm starting to think about this. Catholic Church, Cub Scouts. I should have been touched a lot.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy body full of tats.
Yeah, just a frog in my throat that won't dislodge.
Yeah, we don't have napkins for frogs.
Yep.
Stupid French people always getting in your nose. What was it? What day was that shit? Saturday? It must have been Saturday, yeah. Because Jessica was sleeping all afternoon. I watched a movie on your recommendation.
Uh-oh, what'd you watch?
Absolutely anything.
What'd you think, man?
So that's the movie you told me.
Yes.
That basically my powers would almost be based on. It was absurd because it kind of had the moral situation of Bruce Almighty, but technically a person being given godlike abilities to just do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that it had to be if he flicked his hand to activate the powers. It's like.
See, the part of that movie that had me howling, crying in laughter is the dog. When the dog first starts to talk and that girl rings the doorbell. Yeah. And the dog's in the background just screaming, "Kill her!"
Door. No, he says hump her or mount her. But then the whole idea that she thinks he's gay because, I didn't mean to do that. That's not the button I was trying to click.
That whole movie, it just entertained the hell out of me. It was fun.
No, it was a fun movie. I didn't realize how old it was, though. For everybody seeing
was
this,
that pre-Polly?
Paulie
or Paul?
Paul. Oh, way earlier than Paul.
Okay.
Because who was in that movie? There was somebody in that movie, and I'm like, oh, this is an early fucking movie.
I've seen the
I think it's from 06.
I've seen the teacher, the Indian guy.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of things, but I think the weird part was that it's who's that comedian? Eddie Izzard.
Yes.
So he's the principal of that school.
No.
That's who that was.
Good gosh. He played such a good straight role.
Yeah, but he's like full trans now. So that's how I knew it couldn't be close. Because Eddie went, he was always a cross-dresser. He was like a professional cross-dresser. But he said, I am a man. I have manly desires. I just dress like a woman professionally. Mm-hmm. And then now I don't know if you saw him on Joe Rogan a couple of years ago. Nope. He's gone full on trans agenda after doing a weird thing where he ran a whole bunch of marathons. He did like 20 marathons in like 30 days across the world. Something like that.
That's insane.
Yeah. So he was doing ultra marathoning for some reason. That was his weird.
That could kill you.
Yeah, but he did it. And I think it was something like 15 marathons on like 7 continents.
I ran that far. I no longer need a dick.
I guess he ran off his balls. Hold on. Eddie Izzard. Yeah, definitely gone full trans. Looks like an old disgusting grandma now. On purpose, not just for professional. Hold on. What's the word I'm looking for? Marathon. He did a comedy series where he did, what was it?
Yeah.
Run for, I told you.
Oh, man.
27 marathons and 27.
If Ursula from
right?
The Little Mermaid
literally could play Ursula. Yeah. So, no, it was. Okay, so he tried to run, I don't know if he succeeded, 27 marathons in 27 days through South Africa as a salute to Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison. and obviously died in prison back in the day. In the old universe, Nelson Mandela died in prison. Remember?
Yeah.
Shut up, fucking Los Angeles Times. I don't want to buy your newspaper. Sorry. So, a thing happened since we recorded last.
What's up?
Some guy won the presidency.
I heard something about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole world heard about that. So, congratulations, Kamala Harris. No, congratulations, Joe Rogan, for winning the presidency for Trump, basically.
Well,
in a way.
Gosh, it's been an interesting week.
It's been an interesting fucking month.
Yeah.
And it's only the beginning of November. So Trump won. So we recorded last Monday before Election Day. Election Day was a shit show. I didn't actually manage to make it to the polls because everything went so fucking nuts. Like, I got off work. Like, you know me, I don't work long days. I had an 8.5 hour day. And then Jordan was coming over to do a charity stream to raise money for him. So that left me roughly an hour and a half from getting off work to when he was going to get here. I still needed to go to the grocery store, take a shower, and prep dinner.
That was still important.
There was no
for it. You failed.
I don't know if you noticed. I don't know if you noticed. Montgomery County was like the Trump votingest county in the entire state of Texas. My one vote wasn't going to help. If
you're not going to get to complain at all.
If it was, I never get to complain. It's like I take the George Carlin approach to voting. It's like voting is just masturbation, so I might as well just stay home and do it.
Yeah, you should still go vote.
No, in this case, I wasn't worried about it for us. I knew that at least here we were going to get popular vote no matter what. The fact that Trump won the popular vote and the Electoral College.
Well, the fact that he won with the same numbers he had last year.
Now,
which the year before.
Well,
the exact same numbers.
Well, they were under until they counted. Well, we're still not done in Arizona, apparently. They're still counting shit. They said they'd be counting it for a fucking week because they're idiots. It's like Florida managed to get all of their numbers across the entire state counted and done by like 9 p.m.
Yep.
Done. Not like we called it and we got shit to do. Still, called it done and was done by 9 p.m. That's fucking nuts. Texas, I mean, most of Texas was pretty much settled. You know, if you notice, there's only 5 places in all of Texas that went super blue.
Right.
And that was the main 5 cities and plus the border counties. Go figure, right? And I bet in those particular counties, they probably don't go for voter ID.
Well, I saw a stat that
I didn't actually open my beer.
That said every single state that Harris won
did not require voter ID.
Yeah.
It's literally the overlay is exactly every single state. The only state she won, mind you, she won cities, she won counties, without a doubt. But here's the insane part. In California, Trump got more votes, technically speaking.
Really?
Yeah. Obviously he won. He
didn't get the votes in the densest population.
Yes. Oh, but there was other places too, like in Arizona. The guy running for Senate seat, Ruben Gallegos or whatever, got more votes than Harris.
Gallegos, yeah.
Either way, doesn't matter. He actually won more votes than Kamala Harris.
Okay.
Because people voted Trump for president and voted down ballot for Democrats. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, it is.
That makes no fucking sense. Because usually if you're going to vote Democrat stupidity, you do that. But I think they basically said, well, Kamala's not going to win, so we need the shenanigans here, so we can't let Carrie Lake possibly also get the Senate seat. So currently, we have the Supreme Court, the presidency, the House, and the Senate by a better majority than we had before.
So he's going to be able to get a lot done in the next 2 years.
In theory. Well, apparently he's already getting a lot done, as I'm going to play right here. Not that one, this one. So, guys, this is insane. So this is the 2 days after just winning the election, and this is where the list began.
Donald Trump's not even president yet. Have you seen what's happened in the last 48 hours? The misogynist appoints the first ever woman to be chief of staff. The Taliban announced they want peace with America and to be taken off the terrorist list. Putin came out and said that Western civilization is not an enemy. Mexico has started securing the border in, of course, response to tariff threats. Saudi Arabia is kicking out all of their Hamas leaders. New York is cleaning up their illegal migrant crisis. Xi Jinping came out and said he wants to peacefully coexist with China and said that they respect American people. The European Union chief finally came out and said, hey, America, can we start buying LNG from you so they stop buying from Russian gas? Putin says he takes Donald Trump's plan to end the war with Ukraine very seriously, and Russia supports it. The Houthis are stepping back. The Hamas called for an immediate end to war. He's calling for term limits in from Congress so that way people like Nancy Pelosi stop being forever members. Stock markets and crypto hit all-time highs.
Yep.
He sent Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton into depression. Because of all of this amazing news, white, liberal, ugly women are now refusing to have sex with men. America is in fact being made great again.
I love the ones that say the earth is healing itself. It's like, or I love the Babylon Bee. They said it's like Trump managing to get everything done before even reaching office can just sit back quietly for the next 4 years.
I don't know. I see a system imbalance that happened, and this is simply the correction on the return.
Yeah, it's
and
literally
it's going to be an overcorrection again, and it's going to have to go the other way.
Well,
until we find a median.
No, I think the other thing is that this is going to be the overcorrection because they're already calling it unfair, blah, 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 blah. It's not unfair. It's not like somebody won by fucking 15 million 15 million votes over the other person. It was still close-ish. Trump has 74. She's got 71 total. So it's still 3 millions, but still popular vote and electoral college. But the thing is, I think that the only reason we're probably definitely 100% going to see a left side January 6th event is because they're being told all of these horrendous lies about what Trump is going to do in office. And I don't think it helps that people like Matt Walsh from the Daily Wire are feeding into the morons' fears of Project 2025 by saying, oh, yeah, that was our agenda the whole time. Because they don't understand sarcasm because Matt is super deadpan. So they just believe everything he says outright. But it's fucking funny that just the threat of Donald Trump being president is changing the world.
Right.
It's like, what the hell? It's like, and to all of my friends on the other side of the world who are criticizing Trump's potential presidency and saying it's a sad day for the world, a sad day for America, eat a dick. Because literally the threat of his existence as president is calling dictators and terrorists to run and hide. But also the fact that Putin's like, good, we're going to end the war because Trump will end it one way or the other. Odds are Putin's going to get a little bit of Ukraine to just, here, lop off this part that you want. The rest of it stays the same. Stay the fuck out of it or we nuke the Kremlin. It's basically what he's going to say, because he even mentioned it before. He's like, when he talked to Rogan, he's like, I can't tell you exactly what I told him, but basically, I said, look, don't do anything. Won't be nothing. Because we know that he specifically said, man, those golden towers on the Kremlin would sure be a shame if they melted.
Nice.
Basically, he said, like, look, I will nuke your fucking home city tomorrow if you step one fucking inch into Ukraine. But it's just, look, it's good news for the most part. But on the bad news front, I had a lot of friends and family members who basically lost their fucking mind and said, basically, if you voted for Trump, leave me the fuck alone. You're a horrible, terrible, fascist, racist, sexist piece of shit. And it's just like, clearly, we are all those things. As Trump has a coalition of women and men of color and age and even side of the political spectrum joining his cause. He's clearly evil, sexist, fascist, all of these terrible things. And it even comes down to what somebody said a long time ago. Lord, please give me the Donald Trump that the leftists cry about at night. Like, just for one day, give me that Donald Trump, because he's not that. If he was, we'd hate him too. It's like, if he was all of those horrible fucking things, I mean, he's a flawed individual. He says a lot of fucked up stuff, but also another thing that was mentioned, leftists with their negative rhetoric and their horrible things they spout, they almost always follow through with their terrible, horrible ideas and things to do against people. Leftists follow through with their threats. Donald Trump doesn't. He does the things he says he's going to do and then doesn't follow through with the bullshit. Like saying telling Hillary Clinton that she'd be in jail. And then he literally came out later and said, "What? Okay, she's the wife of the former president. She's the current was the former Secretary of State. She has all this stuff. If I put her in jail, how fucking bad does that make me look?"
Yeah.
And so he didn't, even though her crimes absolutely need to be investigated. But other than that, cool. If the system puts her in jail, cool. But if Donald Trump says, target that bitch, I want her thrown in jail, like the system has done to Trump, it would be a different story. Now how he's going to manage the mass deportations and all the other stuff, we'll see how that goes. If they get even 20% of the illegals, we'll see a marginal improvement. I doubt they're going to manage to get all 15 million or 20 million, but as long as they get the criminals out, like these specific, like violent criminal, drug dealer, murderer, rapists, like those people he said that they're not sending their best. If we manage to get rid of those, yay. The hardworking people who just want a better place to live, get them on a list and put them towards fucking becoming citizens proper. If it's going to come down to that. But cut off all the welfare, cut off all the bullshit, make them work for it, and fucking hit them with all of the things. What is that called when they send the money back to their home country? Remittance. Yeah. So tax the fuck out of the remittance. Like 200, 400% tax on any remittance leaving this country. So they will not do it.
And Lord, require nationalization.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like if you want any of our benefits in our welfare system,
you learn English, you pass the test, you say the Pledge of Allegiance, you know our constitutional rights.
Yep. Which leftists don't. So if somebody from another country coming here illegally,
they know them. They're just those rights are just in the way, and they ignore them.
Oh, that was the one I was going to bring up. The thing I sent you, but you didn't get a chance to check out.
I did
what I have right here. Something you'll be very happy about, as someone who used to travel this country and also has guns on him. Trump is wanting full concealed carry reciprocity across all 50 states.
Yes.
So that means if you have a concealed carry permit in your state, all 50 states have to recognize it if you're visiting.
That's good.
Now, that doesn't mean you can have your fucking gun resting on your dashboard when you're driving around. You can't have the shit on your hip. Concealed carry is what he said. That means at least in your glove box, maybe.
Well, it just can't be visible.
It can't be visible, something. But the idea that there are states in this union where you will go to jail if you have a gun on you, even though it's perfectly legal in your state, is a massive fucking problem. And for if he does get that through, which should be possible, except for since California said it might be an issue. California saying that they will secede and take in all of the illegals so that Donald Trump can't deport them.
Sweet.
I was like, that sounds like...
Wait. They can't. They can't secede, can they?
They're trying to. They said they can.
Well, go for it.
Go for it. Sure. I was like, try that. See what happens.
There's another wall.
Just wall off only. It's like, no. We'll just drop a couple nukes in the fucking San Andreas Fault.
Nah. Let them see how bad it gets.
They don't care. Yeah. It's California. They don't care how bad it gets. Like, people who live there care. Gavin Newsom does not care.
Oh, no. It'll end up being like Mad Max.
No, it'll be like Escape from L.A. is what it'll be like. It's literally what it'll be like. It's fucking nuts to think that there are states in this union who are literally so hell-bent on being the shittiest place possible that they would say they would leave the protections, technically speaking, of the United States. I'll be like, okay, cool. So we're going to tariff the fuck out of every Hollywood movie made.
Yep.
2,000% tariff on any movie made in California.
$50 movie tickets,
No, $200 movie tickets. So put them out of business.
You touched on gun laws. I saw something briefly, and I'm not sure how accurate it is. It stated that Brandon Herrera was considering running for the head of the ATF.
Okay, so on that,
is that
so from what I've seen, he said that he would be honored to be nominated to do such a thing if he is put forward. He's not been declared in any way, shape, or form, unfortunately.
I just saw a brief glimpse on the way out the door.
No, that's what everybody's pushing. Obviously, Brendan Herrera would be fantastic at ATF because he would get rid of it on day 2.
Yeah, I'm fired.
Day 1 is writing up his severance package so that he gets all of the benefits of being the ATF lead. But the other thing would be, I mean, I think that at least abolish the NFA. Period.
The NFA, the tax stamp stuff.
Tax stamp, all that. Get rid of all those things that basically make it illegal just for you to have fun toys.
Yeah.
However, I think that there are some purposes to the ATF that should remain. And
let builders build. Let them customize. Let them enjoy. Let hobbyists enjoy the hobby.
How about this? How about we just eliminate the F part?
Yeah.
Like just take the F out of the ATF and we'll just call it the AT.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're just worried about alcohol and tobacco. And we're just, firearms are left up to, whatever. And if we get rid of that, then that changes the legislation. So basically, the concealed carry laws would just go out the window anyways.
It'd go back to our founding fathers with the shall not be infringed.
Yes, let's get rid of that infringing part. Yeah. And if anybody who says that they don't infringe on your rights, it's clearly haven't been paying attention to anything that the leftards have been saying.
I can't have a machine gun. That's an infringement.
You can't have a fucking missile launcher.
Damn.
Technically, you can have a cannon.
I was going duck hunting.
Where's your cannon?
I can't have a cannon.
You can have a cannon without a permit. It's just really funny.
That's great.
It's like, it makes no sense, but you can.
Oh, trust me. I've dreamt about setting up a cannon with goose shot and,
get a punt gun. Just easier.
No,
just easier.
Setting it up on a feeder and just blasting, 30 or 40 hogs at once.
That might be illegal for different reasons.
If a harvest,
because there may or may not be things over there that probably don't want to get shot, like neighbors,
trees, forests.
I don't know if you know this. There's a really big neighborhood behind the trees of your area.
Oh, trust me, I've got them all mapped out. I know exactly where everything is.
Yeah, so that means you're going to be shooting into someone's backyard, whether you mean to or not.
No, I'm not.
Got to be careful.
Not where my range is set up. It's perfect.
Well, yeah, but when you have your own cannon, unless you set up a berm, it's like, how would you berm your entire property?
Well, currently, we're shooting slightly downhill into a slough down at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, but a slough is not a berm.
No, but a slough's a better trap.
But if you put a berm on the other side of the slough, let's just throw out weird words. The other side of the slough. Slough berm. Slough berm sounds like something I don't want to drink. Stop counting things. You and your MacGuffins. By the way, I did look up the history of the MacGuffin.
Oh, great! I'll get bored again.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you'd never heard of it, so I looked up where it came from, and basically kind of what I said.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think there was like a person. There wasn't like Mr. MacGuffin. I don't think, but who knows. But I just found it funny that you had never heard that word at all, which is interesting. But I mean, okay, so on top of the concealed carry thing, did you see the whole thing about doing the Great American Fair?
No, kind of like what they used to do up in New York
with the World's Fair.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a fair. He's setting it up in Iowa. He's going to resurrect the Iowa State Fairgrounds, and basically it'll be a year-long celebration from 2025 to 2026.
Basically, this is America. This is what we do. This is how great we are.
Exactly. So representation of displays from all 50 states to come in there. I'm sure California won't participate. Maybe NorCal will. To be like, hell yeah.
They'll send a poop emoji.
Yeah, basically. So realistically, set up like areas, be like, here's Texas area, here's whatever. Basically, come here, do the best to represent your state and how great it is. Mm-hmm. I'm sure California will just be the complete anarchy state. Probably the same thing with fucking Oregon, or
New York.
Or New York. Well, if you're representing the state of New York, it seems unfair to only represent New York City, which is pretty much the shithole.
That's what happens anyway.
Yeah. So if they actually are allowed to represent other things in their state, but basically, like, it was a huge fucking proposal, like basically sending a couple $100 million that direction to basically stimulate Iowa's economy and each state's economy, because they're going to be paid to come there to represent their shit in a year-long celebration of America's 250th anniversary.
Because Lord, every state will be rotating probably every couple weeks.
Maybe. I think he said basically if they're going to have it in there, all 50 states represented at the same time. So you can basically, it's like Disney World, but only the U.S.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, the representatives from each state will probably be cycled out
a couple
with different
months.
stuff, different displays, different whatever.
Yeah. So like if you wanted to represent
agriculture, farming, you know, technology, industry, all that stuff.
Yeah. So if you wanted to represent like oil and gas from Texas for like a month or two, and then you go up there, you represent the fucking cattle farmers,
or all the shipping channels and all the cargo we run through Texas constantly.
I'm not sure if that technically counts. That's more Gulf.
Yeah, still
because any Gulf state could pull that off.
True.
Yeah, so I mean, like, what's like specifically Texas, though? You know, you got your beef, you got your oil and gas, you got
rednecks.
I guess rednecks. It's like I'm trying to think of like anything. Cactus, I guess. I don't know, something. I mean, like, because Texas is so big, we could have the Texas State Fair if it represented all the counties of Texas. Would be interesting. But that was one of his cool proposals that he wanted to do. Then a whole bunch of other ridiculous stuff like protecting children's innocence. Basically,
oh yeah, that's ridiculous. Who needs to do that?
I mean, we shouldn't even need laws for that, honestly. For real. But the fact of basically going to outlaw all transition surgeries and is sure as hell going to stop it for kids specifically. As for adults, well, I mean, that's going to be a situation, but they're going to get rid of all taxpayer funding for it. So the state will no longer be subsidizing sexual transition.
Well, that's synonymous for you know, a healthy individual wanting a boob job and expecting the state to subsidize it.
Yes, but a boob job doesn't necessarily change the medical condition of your body.
Yeah.
You may lose lactation.
But
but you'll be more famous.
It's elective surgery, essentially.
Yeah, all transition surgery is elective. Now, when it comes down to any of the other stuff, I haven't seen everything that he's been putting out.
He could circumvent that by stating any elective surgery won't be subsidized unless there's a medical reason behind it.
In which case, it wouldn't necessarily be elective.
Yeah.
There's a medical need. And you can never argue.
You know, a close personal friend of mine, double mastectomy cancer survivor.
Yeah.
Had to have.
Did she get a penis?
No.
Might as well. You're halfway to a man already.
But she had a augmentation surgery done.
Yeah.
And that was covered by everything.
Yeah, that's totally elective, but as a result of the medical
it's just restoration at that point.
Yeah. And you might as well go, you know, half a size bigger.
Which I hear her tell her it's cockeyed, retarded Asian.
That's funny.
I said, I don't want to picture that.
Well, because even my aunt had to have at least a single mastectomy.
And I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the direction.
I know what you mean.
The final product.
I understood what you're talking about. But I think that my aunt had a single mastectomy, and I don't know if she got the boob job or not. Because I feel like, especially if you're lopsided, you should at least get something installed. And that in particular is getting better. But I would also argue that in that same vein, like 15-year-old girls don't need boob jobs because they're still growing. Like in the same way, minor elective surgeries for that kind of shit is
even the elective nose jobs, the shaving of the hips, the all kind of stuff that
a lot of nonsense.
Yeah,
I mean, like, I guess a nose job is not that crazy.
Finish growing first.
Yeah, of course, finish developing before anything. Because that is the whole point of banning surgeries for minors is because, you haven't gone through puberty. Your body hasn't developed at all.
There are people that have massive body image issues, and
that's me raising my hand.
Get addicted
and
to
showing
surgery.
my sweaty armpit.
But you're not getting a boob job
today. I mean, but at the same time, you know, we get our guts removed to get skinny.
They have the laser lipo now.
Laser lipo.
Laser liposuction.
Interesting.
I know someone that's had it done, and they didn't do the work afterwards.
Yeah, but see, if you do the laser lipo, you're not getting your fat pulled out so that we can turn it into soap to sell to rich people.
Who the fuck are you, Brad Pitt?
Yes. I'm the narrator, obviously.
Apparently, I want to destroy something beautiful.
Yes. I am Jack's irritated nipple.
No, you look more like Robert Paulson.
His name is Robert Paulson. Say it with me, everybody. Yeah. All right, guys. So that's a hell of a way to intro the episode. Welcome back to the Now You Made It Awkward podcast, episode 118. I am Shoky, and you can follow me at all the Shoky related things down below, including Shoky Review, Shoky Reviews 2, and that's this one. Now You Made It Awkward's this one. It Doesn't Have to Make Sense streaming channel, which actually last week we raised money so that Jordan could purchase his Christmas music for his performance.
Oh, really?
So because Jordan, our friend,
I saw he had at least a temp job.
he's got a job now. He got it the same day that we did the thing, but
Outstanding.
he's running behind on money. So thank you to my chat for raising $155 in one night to make sure that he paid for that music, and also just a little bit extra. Like, just really, really cool people. Jordan did. I gave him no prep. I said, hey,
dance monkey.
I said warm, lube it up and warm it up because you're gonna be singing. He's like, what? I was like, you're a fucking Elvis person. You're gonna fucking sing some Elvis songs for these people if they ask for it.
Entertain me, damn it.
And I'll tell you what, he did a good job despite no prep. Like, he went in the other room, got a little whiskey in him.
Did he go straight a cappella or?
Yeah, straight a cappella. Well, no. He had the karaoke versions from YouTube.
Okay, good.
So, and it has not been taken down yet. I was worried about copyright strikes.
Right.
But also, guys, make sure you do like and subscribe to this channel, whether that's here on the YouTubes or over on the Rumbles, and still getting the Rumble bots every single new episode. Every single new episode. And, of course, guys, I forgot to mention it last week. If you want to see the full uncut video version of this podcast, you can go check out the SHOKY Reviews Patreon, which now picked up 3 new patrons last week.
Outstanding.
Not for this channel, but, for that one.
Yeah.
And, of course, with me today, as usual, is Jeef.
Hey, what's up, guys?
It still says Jeef on the screen.
Still says Jeef?
For one more week, yeah.
You're a dick.
No, you did. No, that's what you get. It's fine. He is Jeef. And, of course, you can follow him at Grounded and Grumpy.
Yep, at the Instagrams.
Yes. And, of course, guys, if you want to write into the show, you can do so at NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail@gmail.com. It does work. I swear it does. So if you want to write in anything to the show, especially now that we're talking about politics so much lately, I pray for the day we don't have to. But you can do that. But also, you can hit us up at the
Facebook page at Now You Made It Awkward Podcast on Facebook.
Yes.
Write us, send us a voice message.
Comment.
Shoky will at least interact with you a little bit. I probably won't even check it.
Well, it depends.
Too busy.
Well, because my post the other day you did interact with.
Yeah.
Yes. I will also say that because somebody requested it a while back, I did pick up a bottle of the Crystal Skull vodka for comparison to Four Osos.
Nice.
So whenever we get around to that, also Louie, shout out to Louie. He wants to come over and do a beer taste test at some point soon.
We need to also holler at Big Will to come back and do the side by side.
We got to do this.
The one I screwed up.
Yep, we got to do that too. We just got to find the day that he's going to be off because he doesn't have a stable schedule. Like,
oh damn,
he still works every day, but what chunk of hours he works changes. But he did say that he would have some half day Mondays. So next time that rolls around, we'll manage that.
Well, dude, during the week I'm free.
Well, yeah, but he's at work.
Well, if he's available, let me know.
Well, we can figure it out one night, except when you're not working. Because we don't want you to get all...
Yeah, about weekends.
We don't want you to get all boozed up and then have to go to the leech-in to get more boozed up.
Hello, lady.
Well, the last time wasn't that bad. Like, I don't think anybody left tipsy.
When we did the beers?
The rank 6.
That beers.
Yeah, the rank 6 was easy.
No, it was easy.
Yeah. But we just need to get Will back here in general.
Yeah, that was more fun than anything else.
Yeah, that was fun. It was a hell of a long edit process, though.
I bet.
I don't know if you watched it or not, where I added all the graphics for all the scores. And the actual scoreboard at the end.
Dude, you're getting better at your editing.
Well, the funny thing is, I didn't realize until I was rewatching the video when it was done that I fucked up the last rankings. I had 2 of them backwards.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Like, because I wanted them in order, and I realized because what I was doing at the beginning was just putting them all next to each other whenever we finished that rank, and then I was going to alter it at the end, and then I decided it makes more sense to rank them as I'm going. Mm-hmm. So after I'd edited most of the video, I went back and fixed that, but the one at the end was the one I didn't fucking change. Irony. I fixed all the other times. So I do have a bunch of beers for that, but also I do have more whiskeys and stuff like that for us to get after. I bought myself another bottle of tequila in there. It's one I've already had. I've just ran out, so I needed to buy more. It's one of the rare occasions where I refilled a bottle.
Actually, at the farm, I am absolutely 100% completely out of alcohol at all.
Well, good.
All my mead's gone, everything.
Well, not necessarily good, but good.
Well, yeah, but I still don't have gifts for friends and stuff like that, so I need to get another batch going. I'm probably about to start a pear cider and then another batch.
You keep mentioning that. When are you going to do it?
Probably this weekend.
Maybe.
I'm waiting on a particular family member to no longer be sick.
Well, I mean... He doesn't have to have any mead.
No, but I don't want to be anywhere around there because I literally can't.
Just Lysol him to death, and then you don't have to worry about it.
I am not going to hose down an 83-year-old man with a Lysol.
For the love of God, Doc. Fucking just literally like tarp off his room and fucking just Lysol the shit out of yeah, Lysol the shit out of the living room.
Well, it'd be a completely different story if he stayed in his room.
That's what I'm saying. Tape it off. Get the fucking heavy duty fucking plastic.
He won't.
Just have him like up against it. Like,
no, instead he's sitting directly underneath the return air register for the entire HVAC.
Yeah, what is he sick with though?
Cough, cold, fever.
Oh, that's fine.
I just don't want it.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, run away.
You do so much Nasopro, you can't get sick.
Still,
it feels like a respiratory virus wouldn't even make it past your fucking mustache. It'd be like, you just got Astapro like just in here, just ready.
Well, that's for allergies, dude.
Yeah, might as well kill everything while we're at it. Get some xylitol. It does actually kill shit in your nose.
Yeah,
it actually does kill the viruses up in there.
I've tried snorting it once.
Don't do that. No, xylitol. It's a fucking nasal spray, but it's the kind the stuff that's in it will. Oh no, xylitol is the actual thing that's in it, but the brand is clear but spelled with an X. The xylitol in it actually kills the COVID virus in your nasal passages.
Wait, so, isn't that a sweetener?
No.
Xylitol.
No, you're thinking of something totally different.
Okay.
This sounds very similar.
What am I thinking of?
Yes. I don't know. I do know what you're talking about though, synthetic sugar shit, but not stevia, but the other stuff. Yeah, no, that's not it.
Okay.
But either way, so I did mention earlier that I did watch the that movie, Absolutely Anything.
Yes.
Which I had to Google it to figure out what the fuck it was. And then I was like, oh yeah, that movie. And then I was like, so I'll watch that real quick. But what I really want to talk about is the finale of The Penguin. Holy fuck. I watched that this morning, dude.
Wait, you said xylitol spelled with an X or a Z?
X.
Because xylitol with an X is a sweetener.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing. Okay, then it's not xylitol. It's something else then.
Yeah, it's a sweetener.
Well, then Google clear with an X and see what the additive ingredient was. Maybe that's what I'm getting confused. I think it's something similar to xylitol name-wise.
Clear xylitol. Maybe it's the same shit.
Yeah,
you're just snorting sweetener.
Synthetic sweetener, fucking. But it was. I'm not wrong though, right?
Yeah, xylitol is that one that dogs can't have. It's poison to them.
Huh. Okay. Maybe it is the same shit, or maybe similar. Okay, but back to what I was saying. So you got hung up on that. No, the Penguin finale came out last night.
You've been watching the Penguin.
Okay. Dude, don't fucking call him that.
Sure.
If you see what he fucking did to people who make fun of him, you wouldn't undo it. Dude, so it's been a fantastic series overall. This finale was a fucking roller coaster. Like, I thought, first of all, I thought it was over at one point. Like, cool, everything's over, everybody's taken care of, not a problem, happy day. And then there was still 25 minutes left. I'm like, what the fuck are they going to do in the next 25 minutes? And then he did something that I was like, don't do that, Oz. Don't fucking, no. What the fuck are you doing, Oz? I was just like, oh my God, dude. Like, holy shit. Like, this was a hell of an ending. Like,
so was that proper ending?
It's a proper ending to this series, yes.
Okay.
However, it sets up the Batman 2 coming down the line, and then God knows what they'll do after that. So basically, like I was mentioning before.
So I need to watch the Batman first?
You have to watch the Batman first.
And it's on Netflix?
No. Well, it might be. It might be on Netflix. For sure, it's on HBO.
Okay.
For sure. Because it's
I
Warner
get Game
Brothers.
of Thrones, so yeah.
Yeah. So The Batman, great movie, in my opinion. Very realistic take on Gotham, on Batman. No supernatural nonsense, just
a rich guy with gadgets.
Rich guy, gadgets, and then a very realistic.
Not Ben Affleck.
No, not Ben Affleck. It was supposed to be Ben Affleck. That was his movie that he was working on for his version of Batman was called The Batman. And that's when he had the fucking meltdown. Because basically he was trying to write, direct, and produce while also starring in the Justice League movies. So he was supposed to have his own spinoff in the Justice League era. But then once he quit doing all that, and then he was no longer that Batman outside of The Flash, where they talked him to come back for doing The Flash, then that's when Matt Reeves picked up the Batman idea. And so this version of the Penguin starts there. And that movie sets up everything that happens in The Penguin. The Penguin sets up some stuff that'll probably happen in the Batman 2. That one, yes. All red and black. Has one of the best Batman themes I've heard outside of the original 89 Batman theme.
And then Penguin?
Yep. The Penguin. Yep. Also on HBO. Which makes sense because that's where they're together. One will recommend the other. Don't worry about that.
Got it.
Fantastic series. Super strong ending. Kind of terrifying at the end. Definitely the best DC thing. Oh, I saw the trailer for Peacemaker 2. Like an actual teaser trailer for Peacemaker Season 2.
Oh, yeah?
Looks pretty cool, but doesn't give anything away. Because, like, they even say in there, it's him and the team. And they're having beers together and basically, like, let no one be able to, no matter how far apart, we're still a team, we're still together, that kind of shit. Because, of course, with the redoing of the entire universe, a lot of shit had to change. So a couple characters will be gone, probably won't even be noticed, honestly. But can't wait for that. A whole bunch of shit I saw at the beginning. It was just teasers of all the upcoming stuff. So looking forward to The Last of Us Season 2, Peacemaker Season 2. There's a couple things in there. There's an It prequel.
Okay.
It's just called Derry. And it's basically like shit that has happened over the decades in Derry where people have been killed by Pennywise off and on in different times. Mm-hmm. So that should be interesting because it's made in the modern It universe. So that should be interesting. And then there was another one that really interested me with... Fuck, who was it? I'll have to look back at it, but there was one on there. I was like, how is this not a spinoff of this other movie?
Yeah.
It's like, it's the same people, same actors and stuff, but it's not related to a different movie. I'm like, but clearly it's the same fucking stuff, but it's not.
Well, while we're talking about things to watch,
yeah,
I may be adding some more Heffy's homework.
Okay.
Yeah, I've watched part of the Flash. I've watched half of the Arrow.
Okay.
Where do I need to start? In what order? And what do I need to add to it? Because I know they all intersect.
Here's the problem: the Flareoverse does happen chronologically and concurrently, so there is overlap. Because
I should be able to find a guide.
Yes, 100%.
To make it make sense.
Yeah, because Flash came. Nope. Arrow came first. So season 1 of Arrow, then season 1 of Flash. And then they just run concurrently. Then
I should watch season by season of each alternately?
Yes, because there are back and forth episodes in every single season.
Okay, and
every season has
and
crossovers.
The Flash brings in Batman, right?
No, not technically.
Not technically.
Well, Batman himself does not exist in this universe.
Do they bring in any other series?
Yes.
Which one?
They bring in Legends of Tomorrow, which is a spinoff. Then there's also Black Lightning. Eventually, even though technically he's in his own universe, he gets brought into the main universe. Then there's also another series.
So what universe is that I need to look up the guide for?
Just the Flareoverse, basically. That's Flash and Arrow. Basically the CW TV series. It's easy enough. So if you type in Flareo, you'll get it.
Flareoverse. Gotcha.
Yep. Easy guide. I mean, realistically, they're happening chronologically. So once you start one season, you'll get to where you go because they introduced Barry Allen in Arrow, and then he goes off to do the Flash series. And then because they needed somewhere to dump all their extraneous characters, Legends of Tomorrow exists. So Legends of Tomorrow actually continues on as a completely separate story because they're time travelers. That's their Doctor Who, basically, because it even stars Arthur Darvill.
There it is.
Yep. So you want to start me down this rabbit hole? We'll go.
Oh, they call it the Arrowverse.
Yes, but the fans call it the Flareoverse because Flash took precedence.
Well, good for them.
Well, because look, Flash went on for
it's only 648 episodes
total. I mean, it's over now.
Yeah, both of them are.
All of them are.
Oh, good.
As far as I know, the entire universe is done.
I don't want to save that one and get after. Oh, currently I'm going back to the old friends at the moment. I've been watching Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
and I'm halfway through The Hobbit.
So, Very nice, very nice. I will also say, extraneously to that universe is also Supergirl and Constantine.
Well, I've got everything, so it's got everybody squared away.
Does it have Supergirl? Because Supergirl,
Yep.
Okay, and Constantine.
Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning.
What about Constantine?
Not yet.
Technically on that list, but doesn't take. Okay, so Constantine is a primer, so you can watch that whole series, and then that's just a primer for when he inevitably comes into that universe later.
So, Constantine's good.
I liked it.
Okay, is it similar to the Keanu Reeves setup?
Not even close.
Okay, good.
It's from the comics.
Okay.
It replicates the comics. The guy who plays him is fucking phenomenal. That's why he continues to play him.
I'm waiting on a Max Payne series.
Maybe. We'll see.
Because they had the movie, which pissed me off. I got these tattoos 2 months before Max Payne came out.
Yeah.
And everywhere I went, oh, you got the Max Payne tattoo. No, I pulled these out of the fucking history books.
Max Payne has my tattoos.
Wings of the fucking Valkyrie.
That's what it is. But no, so Constantine, good series, follows the comics a bit more. Oh, and once again, you have Sandman on your list. I hope.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, good. So that does not tie in, but it is a DC/Vertigo comic.
Okay.
God, I need to get back to watching that. Well, because season 2 is coming like soon, and I'm excited about that. So I'm probably going to rewatch season 1. So if we want to do like a season rewatch situation,
Well,
and then discuss it.
give me a timeline and give me a week to get through them all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can go like episode by episode recapping. So like I'll watch episode 1, you watch episode 1, and then we talk about it. Because I don't think we reviewed it when it was out.
Let me know.
Yeah. Because I really enjoyed that series, and doing a rewatch will be good because it's so good. Okay, you mentioned Lord of the Rings, and there was a thing I was thinking about because of that, and I forgot what it was. There's something else going on related around Lord of the Rings, but I can't remember what it was. Don't watch Two Towers, by the way. Or not Two Towers. Don't watch Rings of Power. The
Really?
Amazon series.
Bad?
Bad. Very bad.
Okay.
And then second season is even worse.
Oh, no.
First season was bad enough, but
It's just a bunch of talking?
No. Well, there's a lot of talking, but the problem is there's not a lot of Tolkien.
Really?
See how I did that?
See, I was irritated with the
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings series because, the little dude gets the ring there, but it doesn't get destroyed because he did the right thing.
I mean, that was the point, is that even someone as pure as a hobbit would eventually get corrupted.
Yeah.
But look how long it took him. So the only thing that never really gets put across is time, because from the books, even the amount of time from when Gandalf first discovers the ring after Bilbo leaves it with Frodo is 20 fucking years.
Mm-hmm.
In the movie, it's a week.
I thought it was 4 years.
No, it's like 20 overall. Like he comes back once, like he goes and does something, comes back, and then he leaves again, and then he comes back, and then that's when he's like, is it secret? Is it safe? All that stuff. It's actually supposed to be like 20 fucking years. In the movie, it's a week. Because you got to think he had to ride to wherever it is the archives were, research shit for a long time, and then come back. I mean, ultimately, it's probably closer to like a couple months, but still. Also, nobody really covers how big Middle Earth really is. Like, it is fucking huge.
They just say it's middle.
Yeah. It's basically like if you started somewhere in, say, like just north of like Saudi Arabia and then went both directions into your Eurasian continent, it's kind of ridiculous. But
They're doing that on the horses and shire ponies.
Exactly. Or walking. You got to think about that. They walked.
They did a lot of walking.
90%.
Who was it? Kevin Smith movie, second one. Clerks. Clerks 2 had a great exposition on the whole Lord of the Rings series.
Yeah.
Where it's just a stupid walk, and that's it.
Yeah, they just walk. But I mean, I think, what was it? He said that he had been gone.
Yeah, he said, I'm at a Lord of the Rings to throw up.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to remember how long Frodo says it was to when he got back to the Shire. It was like
in the movie
over a year.
In the movie, it was a 4-year span.
I think so.
Before Frodo and everybody else went to see off Bilbo.
Oh, when they went to the Grey Havens.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Frodo's like, yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah, because, he came back, but I'm saying,
Stop crying, quit
I'm
acting.
talking about the actual journey itself, from leaving to returning was over a year.
14 months or 18 months.
Something like that. It was a little over a year.
I just saw it last night.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's still the best trilogy.
It was
period.
14 months.
All right,
I believe was the number.
So real quick, off the top of your head, top 3 trilogies.
Top 3 trilogies.
I got 2. I can't think of a third one at this second, but I'll come up with it. It has to be a trilogy, not expanded upon.
Okay. Because you know what my answer was going to be.
Yeah. Well, the reason I say that is because Star Wars, if we eliminate everything else, the original trilogy is fantastic comparatively.
Let's see. The Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy was awesome.
That's pretty solid, yeah.
And then go with your other one. Let me think.
Okay, so I'm going to go Back to the Future. I'm going to go Lord of the Rings, because The Hobbit's its own thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe in that case, we'll say Star Wars original trilogy counts.
For historic pop culture references, yes.
I think
that'll be my number 2.
But we're going with your favorite thing, so yes.
I did enjoy that trilogy a lot.
Yeah. If we isolate the 2 trilogies and the duology,
do you count Lonesome Dove?
That is one long movie, so no.
But it came out in 3 parts over 3 weeks.
It was a mini series turned into a movie.
Still one of my absolute favorites.
I don't count that as a trilogy, personally. That's like saying, is the new It a duology, or is it just one long movie?
The Lonesome Dove series, Streets of Laredo, the one before it. I can't remember, but
they're always blending. You're always blurring the lines when it comes to Lonesome Dove on whether it's one long movie or not.
Well, there are multiple movies,
but are there?
Yeah.
Okay. Are there only 3
movies? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why is it treated as one thing then?
Well, because they don't count the one after it, the Streets of Laredo.
Oh, sorry. I'm not thinking fucking Lonesome Dove. I'm thinking Tombstone. Sorry.
Yeah, you're thinking Tombstone.
Yeah, sorry.
Then there's a movie before it. I can't recall the title now, but it was the Gus and Call as youngsters when they first joined the Rangers.
Okay. So if Lonesome Dove is technically a trilogy, I'll give you that one.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So what would that make your 3 then?
That would be the Star Wars, Lonesome Dove, and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay. It's funny that you go Guardians on that.
It's a better movie, better story.
It's a good movie. It's a good set, but I wouldn't say
it made you cry.
A little. I mean, it was sad at the end. I would argue that the death in 2 was sadder, but you know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Within Marvel, I would argue there's the original Iron Man trilogy. I would argue
it's not a trilogy. There are way more Iron Man movies.
No, there's only 3 Iron Man movies.
Oh shit! Yeah, he gets wrapped up in another story.
Thor has 4 movies. Captain America
had 4.
Captain America has 4 movies. Technically,
there's about to be another Captain America movie, and it's going to be stupid.
So I think we have to divide the Captain America.
It's going to be stupid. It's basically Dread Pirate Roberts.
Have you seen the new trailer?
Yeah,
it looks fucking amazing.
No, it looks stupid.
No, the trailer, the brand new trailer I just watched, looks awesome. Along with Thunderbolts, the Thunderbolts trailer looks so fucking good. Can't wait for both of those movies. But either way, I'm trying to think now. How many Hold on. Captain America: First Avenger, Captain America: Winter Soldier, Captain America: Civil War, and then I guess technically speaking, the next Captain America is the new one, New World Order. So that starts with Falcon as Captain America. So I'm not counting that I'm counting that as a separate Captain America movie. So the original, I would say that in Marvel, the Captain America trilogy was better. What are you looking up?
Dead Man's Walk was the first and earliest chronologically in the Lonesome Dove series.
Okay.
They get captured by the Mexican army and were forced to draw straws to see who got executed next. Yeah, it was a rough one.
So speaking of movies, you sort of like musicals.
I like a musical or two, yes.
Okay, but you know that they convert a lot of movies to musicals now.
Yes.
Right? So Wicked has now been turned into a movie.
That's my older sister's favorite. And she dresses up as the Green Witch.
Elphaba.
Constantly.
So that is one of the few musicals I can stand because I like some of the songs. Now, this movie that has coming out, I don't know which one, there's an issue, but it actually has nothing to do with the movie itself. Nice.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the movie itself. It has to do with the toys / kind of Barbie dolls I don't know if I sent the link to you earlier. So Mattel made a big whoopsie. So on the packaging for the figures for the movie, you know.
Oh, I did bring that up. Holy crap! Yeah, that was.
They fucked up.
I say it's funny in a twisted sense, but it's fucked up.
It is fucked up because why are we?
But because we have dark senses of humor, it makes us laugh.
I laughed, but also like, so for anybody who doesn't know, they put a website link on the packaging.
It was a QR code, right?
It was either a QR code or it was typed out. I think it was typed out because QR code you could fix. So that wouldn't be a problem. They would have been like, oh, hey, whatever. I think they actually physically had it written on the fucking box. So what they intended to put on there was a link to the movie's website, which is wickedmovie.com. What they actually put on there was wicked.com.
Oh, no.
And if it's the same wicked.com that I think has been around since my younger days, I could be wrong. That is a pornography site. That is specifically what it is. That is Wicked Productions, which is a porn site. Don't Google wicked.com right now, dumbass. I'm telling you, it's what it is. So whoever put it on the packaging put wicked.com without ever checking that was to the actual fucking website, whether movie or other.
Now I'm curious. Just see if it works.
It definitely works because it's a real place. Put on your fucking put on your incognito mode and turn your VPN on before you look for porn.
Why?
Protect yourself and your identity.
Yep.
ExpressVPN, please sponsor us. I use your product.
Definitely is.
Uh-huh. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Put the phone down.
Ooh. Actually,
look, I know you're stranded away from home right now, but please
it
don't
brings
do that
you. There's nothing shown when you pull it up.
Of course, it takes you to the front page.
It's a login page.
Yeah. And in theory, would have an age verification logo, or
but
at least
still,
say, "Are you at least 18?"
Inappropriate.
It's meant for little girls to fucking check out the website. Whoops. That's a big whoops. Now, that box, though, that's going to be a collector's item for people in the future because they're going to have to fix that. So go out there and get your wicked.com fucking
I need to get one
Barbie
for my
doll.
sister. Tell her to check out the website.
Go get her. Go find her an alphabet thing at fucking Target when you leave. I'm sure it's over there. Go find it. Make sure you get the right one. If it's a QR code, you can fix that easy.
Yeah.
Well, no, can you? I guess you can. However, QR codes are programmed. Obviously, you
just reassign it.
You redirect it. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, if they typed it out on the box, there's no fixing that without changing all of the packaging to fix it. You know, either that or they have to buy the URL and have it automatically redirect. Like, I don't think you could do that. So you can't fix that mistake in this way. But I found that nuts.
NVTS, huh?
Yeah, that's a fun one. That's just a big whoops. I saw that on the news this morning. Like, I was watching the news with Jessica, and I'm just like,
I think I saw a blurb on it earlier.
I was just like, what the fuck? How did you fuck that up?
Because people don't pay attention. They're staring at their damn phones. Too many distractions when they're at work.
I guarantee you that wasn't even a distraction situation. That was probably somebody who was told to do something on a fucking Friday afternoon. They didn't bother checking, and nobody else also checked.
Or the person that was responsible for doing it pawned it off on one of their lackeys to say, you do that. I'm too busy.
I mean, how hard is it? Is whoever designed the packaging?
Yeah.
So whoever designed the packaging was responsible for the mistake.
I bet you they're double checking websites moving forward.
I guarantee it. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I mentioned this a couple weeks ago when we were talking about the HasLab stuff. So the HasLab Ecto-1, remember we talked about that?
In excruciating detail.
Yeah, yes. Well, people needed to know. I checked.
It's a good nap.
Because a lot of things I signed up for on my old email address, not the one I currently use. And I forgot that my HasLab orders go over there. So I was scrolling through, and I did get notifications that I think shipping next week, actually, my Ghost Trap and PKE meter should be shipping.
Okay.
Because they send out an email the month before they ship them to make sure your address is correct. And if you have to correct it, now's the time, because that's expensive fucking boxes to be shipped out.
Yeah.
But Adam Savage just opened up the quote-unquote prototypes on Tested last week, so I got to see what they actually do.
Nice.
Dude, there's some cool shit. Like the trap, because they want to be able to change it from movie 1 to movie 2. It does come with a couple extra parts that you can swap out. So there's these little red bars that are on the side of the trap, and in movie 2 they make them silver. When you switch the actual bars out, it changes lights and sound effects.
Oh, no way. That's awesome.
There's a little nub. Yeah, a little switch.
Microcontroller. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little tiny switch in the middle that only one of them moves. And I was like, that is cool. Like, okay, they went to the nines.
They thought ahead.
Yeah, so that's pretty fucking sick. And I forgot that it comes with the patches. So, like, you got Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2, HasLab, and Ghost Core patches. So if you want to actually, if you have some of the overalls, you can do that. One of these days, I'll get some fucking Ghostbusters coveralls. Get the proper ones. But when I do that, I need to get the proper straps for the Alice pack, because the ones I have are the ones that came with the pack, not because they could not adapt the ones that were on the actual Proton.
Dude, Alice packs are cheap. They're like $25 on eBay.
I got one.
Okay.
I got one of the cheap ones, and it is cheap.
I actually ordered for the wife and I the new Molly style extra large full rucksacks. Basically the same one I used.
Yeah.
And the lumbar support's huge. The straps are that wide.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Great frame. So we're going to start rucking instead of, yes. We're going to start hiking with our backpacks and weights on.
I know what rucking means. Yeah. I'm just laughing at the term.
Because you're 12.
Look, we're talking about fucking a toy that redirects you to a porn site. So, yes.
True.
Get your rucksack on.
Ruck you.
Go get your ruck on.
I'll ruck all day.
get your rucks on and your rucks off.
There you go.
Oh, God. Ruck and fuck.
Gonna get rucked.
This section's definitely getting rucked.
This section brought to you by immaturity.
This entire podcast brought to you by that. So I was thinking, that was the other thing. I forgot. I'm a flat earther now.
Because you're a fucking moron.
I watched a documentary, and now I completely believe in the flat earth.
Of course. Just like everyone else did, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it just makes sense. I mean, if I look way, way off into the distance, how can I still see things if there's a curvature to the earth?
Because you got to look farther.
No.
You got about 14 miles you can see before it curves down.
Yeah, but if I have like some binoculars, I can still see to the other side of the city if I try.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. I can see boats beyond the horizon if I look over the ocean.
You can also see them drop under the horizon.
No, there's no such thing. They're just getting further out.
All right, stop it. You're pissing me off. I hate this fucking argument. It's irritating. People are willfully ignorant and being fucking retarded. Stop it.
I want to be a flat earther now.
You do not.
I'm going to dig into it.
Dude, I will. No.
I want to dig into it. Because I might become famous and make money.
I'm going to call your mom, tell her to badger you about it constantly.
Oh, I did talk to my mom last week.
Yeah, did you tell her you're a flat earther?
No, I wasn't a flat earther yet. I've only been a flat earther since yesterday.
So you talked to your mom?
Yeah. She called. She wanted to update me on my sister-in-law's condition, which apparently has gotten significantly worse.
That's bad.
Oh, so let's talk about fucking tragedies all of a sudden. My friend Tyler, his sister died last week of cancer. They, rest in peace. She had a fairly short bout, and it was pretty severe. Died, I think she was in her late 20s, unfortunately, and managed to barely get married before dying. The goal was to basically try to make her wedding happen, and she was dying so quickly that they basically had to have the ceremony in her fucking deathbed, effectively. She couldn't even stand. Her body was withering.
What's the point?
Wanted to have that one last thing.
Unless she's loaded.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, you love someone enough, do the thing, I guess. I mean, she gets to leave her fucking husband behind, obviously. Sad day, though. I mean, like, it was, for a young person to pass away of such aggressive cancer, it fucking sucks. But then, let's go back to Sean and his woman's family problems. So you already know her sister has bad cancer. Her dad has bad cancer. Apparently, he did go through with the radiation in his brain, and it has basically fucked him. So he's now dying slowly, even though they started doing treatment again. So
you're not talking about Sean, are you?
Yes, I'm talking about Sean.
Whoa.
Sean's father-in-law, quote unquote.
But not Sean himself.
No, not Sean himself. Sean's dying of stupidity. Sean's idiocy in inhaling too many terrible chemicals.
Did we not hear from him today?
No.
Damn.
He just took on a fucking very, very hefty rebuild of a vehicle while also trying to do his own, and also had project vehicles in regular
Which
work.
one is it? Because he had that massive big block he was working on.
Okay, so he's working on his own truck that he's trying to build.
575?
Something like that.
It's huge.
But he's working on his own project vehicle, already has enough work, and then is finishing up his friend's truck, and then his friend found a truck, his friend's friend has a truck that he wants completely rebuilt that he just brought by the shop and said, name your price, And so he's going to be busy for the next several years working on other people's nonsense.
I was chatting with him last night about paint and how reducing properties and all that stuff.
Uh-huh. So, well, let me finish this. So, let's talk about Mike, his father-in-law, so to speak. So he's already deteriorating fairly quickly. He's not the man he used to be. So all of his fears about getting the treatment and sticking around, his family basically talked him into not giving up, and his life has gotten significantly worse otherwise. Because he said, look, I don't want the radiation if it's going to fuck me up. And they talked him into it, so now he's all fucked up. So they get to watch him die slowly and shit himself.
Instead of die comfortably.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, I still died horribly of the cancer, but they could give him drugs for that. Now there's nothing they could do for him, and he's worse off. So his brother just died last week. So the set of twins, the first one died a year ago of cancer. The second one died last week of cancer. I told him, dude, you and Summer and the girls need to get the fuck out of that county.
Tell them to come to Houston.
It's like, come down here. We have less cancer.
Yep. Come to Conroe.
At least. I mean, like, our water has mold in it, but at least it's a little bit better. It's like it doesn't have horrible, horrible things. Although, pretty soon it won't have fluoride in it.
Why?
Because RFK is going to have fluoride removed from water nationwide.
Okay.
Because we're not supposed to ingest fluoride.
Well, that doesn't affect me much. Been on a well forever.
No. But if you do anything in city water.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we don't know what it might be in anything else we're ingesting. Because fluoride's just in city water, period. It's not supposed to be. If it's supposed to affect your teeth, why are we drinking it? Toothpaste, fine. That's why they told you not to swallow your toothpaste, ever. Even mouthwash that has fluoride. You're not supposed to swallow it because you're not meant to ingest it because it fucks your body up. And so they put it in our drinking water in the fucking 80s. Why? Why did they put a fucking heavy mineral in our fucking thing?
Well, because companies that make cancer medication need to make their money.
First of all,
yeah.
So what I'm really hoping for with RFK getting out here is him basically heading the FDA.
Who's RFK?
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Okay.
Yes. So
you know how much of a rock I stand half the time.
So obviously he's the nephew of JFK and the son of RFK. So both his uncle and his dad were fucking murdered by people at the top of some place somewhere.
Yep. Keep your head down.
Yep. But apparently there was another assassination attempt on Trump last week.
I called that.
It was thwarted, but it was happening.
I called that last week.
Yeah. But either way, so RFK is gonna. He already said, like, look, you have all of these ridiculous additives in all of these daily foods you eat and your kids eat. America is one of the most unhealthy fucking countries on the globe because our food is full of garbage.
We need to follow the European Union's food guidelines.
Well, some of them anyways. They have some crazy shit over there too.
But still, their ingredients list is 3/4 what ours is.
There are chemicals and preservatives in our food, not to mention you know how the farms work and how we purposely desiccate our crops to dry them out.
Yes.
That needs to be tightened up. That's getting a little loosey-goosey over there.
Yep.
Yeah, so basically the way that we treat our flour effectively has been hurting us because we're fucking whatever. Oh my God. I saw this the other day. I don't know when the video came out. Do you remember the meme about the water turning the frickin' frogs gay from Alex Jones?
No.
You ever heard this?
No.
Okay, yeah, you were definitely under a rock. So many years ago, Alex Jones on InfoWars was screaming about how they're turning the fucking frogs gay. And everybody said, you're insane. What the hell is wrong with you? What he was talking about was atrazine. So atrazine is a chemical that is in a lot of birth control and other things like that. Mm-hmm. And because so many women and girls are on birth control for so much of their life, and they use city water system to pee.
Damn.
They excrete enough atrazine that it goes into the actual water of the fucking planet. And this much atrazine actually manages to shift some certain types of species of frogs, much like in Jurassic Park.
Well, that's a natural shift that happens in a single-sex environment.
Yes.
But now it's happening artificially.
This is happening artificially. So everybody said that Alex Jones was crazy because, one, it doesn't technically make them gay. It switches their sexes biologically and causes them to want to reproduce, even though they're sterile. RFK literally just put out a video saying the exact thing that Alex Jones said 10 fucking years ago. Yeah. It's like, there's another one. Alex Jones was right, Bucket. It's like, he's always right. You just got to give it time for the actual facts to finally come out. Alex Jones is almost always right. He predicted 9/11 almost to the T.
Hell, there's a fish that does that naturally. When it reaches a certain age and weight,
yeah,
it goes from switches from male to female.
I think those are called humans.
No.
Because I don't know if you've seen some of these fat, non-binary peoples. It's really hard to tell which sex they are. I think non-binary is bullshit.
Well, hell, clownfishes do that. There's another one, too.
Clownfishes do it in a similar situation, too. But I think they only switch one way. Males become females. Females don't become males.
And then these,
is it a dorkfish?
The kabuti, these big-headed monsters.
Oh, those fucking things.
Once they hit about 30 kilos
yeah,
and about 10 years old, they switch from male to female.
Because they're useless at that point.
Or female to male. Yeah, that's it. They go female to male.
That doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they do that?
That's what they do.
Because they're just getting tired of Pounded, so they decide to go to Pound Town?
Yeah, there's a difference in the two.
Yeah, well, they lose their giant head. Or gain it.
They gain it.
That's stupid. Fishes are dumb.
Yep.
It's probably too much atrazine in their water. It's literally what it turns into. Too much mercury. Oh, that's the other thing. So RFK, since you don't know, he was an environmental lawyer first. So he's the one who got them to clean up the fucking rivers in New York. Because they were the most polluted whatever. Yeah. So because there were side effects both on people who worked around it and people who lived near it, he's the one who got that to change. And then somebody came to him basically like an Aaron Brockovich type situation and started looking at environmental causes to people's food being fucked up. And that's when he started looking at food and when he started looking at he's the one who's basically been at the head of the childhood vaccines causing autism. Mm-hmm. Like he's like basically one of the origin points for that. Basically, like, why do they get like 37 fucking vaccines between the ages of 1 and 3, and most of them doing in like stints of 5 to 8 at a time? It's like, you know, a few years ago, I talked about my friend who believes that both of his children became autistic because of vaccines. I didn't necessarily make fun of him, but it's like I never seen the correlation until I heard RFK explain it. And I'm like, okay, I could see it now. And especially if you are of a particular genetic makeup, perhaps, it probably affects you significantly more than others. But that would also explain a lot of the massive rise in autism and mental illness in children that started effectively in the late 70s and has accelerated the more and more they put on the vaccine schedule for young kids. I'm not an anti-vaxxer by any means, but why do they do so many at a cluster?
Right.
Like even when I was a kid, I know that when I was young, I got at least 2 or 3 at the same time. And I remember like the last couple bullshit ones like TB and stuff like that. And it's just like, those kind of suck, but they didn't do like 5 at a time. So, I mean, it is an interesting idea. I mean, like, if nobody has truly looked into it, or at least nobody's bothered to make any changes because, well, hell, the world runs on big pharma, effectively. And part of the changes that Trump also wanted to get rid of is no more advertising of fucking pharmaceuticals on U.S. television.
Oh, for real?
If that's true, that's a huge fucking deal.
That is massive.
But I don't know what the NFL is going to do without that Pfizer budget. It's like they need that Pfizer money. It's like, but no,
then pay your idiots less to play a game.
We're one of the only countries in the world, period, that has advertisements for medication.
Yeah,
and at no point does the medication sound like a good thing. That shouldn't be thrown in our
faces. It should be the doctors making those decisions for the welfare and what's best for the patient.
But they advertise it to you so that you go to your doctor to ask, "Hey, do I need Ozempic?" And like, yes, you're fat. You clearly need Ozempic.
Apparently, everybody needs Ozempic.
Yes, except we don't talk about the side effects of Ozempic, do we? the bone and muscle loss and all these other horrible things, hormonal situations, all kinds of problems. And if you combine it with other things, which by the way, I would like to point out, my wife is on Ozempic.
My wife wants it. And I'm trying to talk her out of it.
She'll be worse off than Jessica.
And I told her, I said, Amy, you don't need the easy route. You need to get up. You need to move. You need to exercise. You need to do something other than sit there and stare at a phone.
And Sean told me the other day, because Summer is also not on Ozempic, but one of them, basically another semaglutide.
The Morgana or whatever.
Whatever. It's one of the semaglutides. And she said this last dose that she got was a big dose, and she felt fucking horrible afterwards. Like a headache that lasted for days and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, the shit's not meant to be in your body.
Oh, basically, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing and drop 2 pounds a month and just keep creeping down.
I have not done a weight check at all, but one thing I'm trying to maintain is regularity, because that is my biggest issue right now.
Fuck that green shit.
No, it was good for you. It cleans you out, though. I bet you
fucking A.
Yeah, it works.
I backed into smaller pants.
Yeah. I will say the other week after I took it for a week, my pants did fit better. So it reduces bloating.
It does.
Yeah.
Also increases gas.
That's how it reduces
I
bloating.
was blowing smoke all night long.
Well, it makes you piss a lot more. Like if you just have one cup of bottle of it, you will be pissing like a racehorse all day.
I already do.
Yeah. And then also it definitely moves anything through you that you probably didn't even know was in there.
Every night at work, I drink 5 of these at least.
You might be overhydrating. Have you considered that?
Possibly.
Yeah. Might be another reason why you feel like ass sometimes, or tired. You've actually pushed out everything that your body's supposed to hold on to. It's like people who hyperhydrate.
Combine that with my 1 meal a day.
Yeah. You don't get enough minerals, and then you fucking push them all out. Like, don't do too much. Like, I'm in that weird zone of, like, there's some days where I've got the right amount, and then some days where I definitely need a lot more.
Yeah.
But because I'm not working super hard right now at work, like, I'm doing a lot of miles, but I'm not doing a lot of actual footwork.
You will soon.
Nope. They already said that more likely we will not be.
Really?
Because we're covered enough. They've got enough seasonals.
Okay, good.
Well, not good. That means less hours.
Yeah.
If it works out like normal years, that means basically I'm going to have no hours all of December.
That sucks.
Yeah. If it works out that way, because they don't know what they're technically doing right now.
I'd say hope you saved up.
Nope. I haven't been able to, because I was fucking.
Because you've been buying Ecto-1 stupid stuff.
I didn't buy an Ecto-1.
Yeah.
Nope. I bought that one.
Okay,
but,
you got a trap coming.
Yeah, but I paid for that last year.
Ah.
Yeah, I didn't have to save up for that. I bought that last year on credit card and then paid it off. That's how I racked up like $1,500 worth of shit right at the end of last year, but it was the good Christmas. I guess it'll be a slightly good. I guess what I'm going to do if it gets here late enough, I'm just going to wrap that bitch, put it under the Christmas tree. Like I did with my PlayStation.
Merry Christmas to me.
Well, that's what I did with my PlayStation. So when I got my PS5 the year before, and I had Jessica buy me a bottle of Clase Azul, and I wrapped that, put it under the tree. It's like I wrap my own fucking presents, put them under the tree. I was like, look, as what I said was, look, I'm going to buy this because of the availability of it. I'm going to put it on credit so that I can just fucking knock it out. But it's a good price. It's on sale. It comes with the games I want. It's here. It's now. PlayStation 5s were fucking hard to come by.
That's kind of how I was with my that Steam Deck I got.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so I wanted to, since you need to check in with that, what games have you actually been doing?
Just Red Dead Redemption 2.
But you already played Red Dead on your Switch.
I played Red Dead Redemption, the first one.
Okay.
But I haven't played the second one.
So I heard 2 is better.
It's a prequel to the first one.
So why did they call it 2?
It's the second one they came out with. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Essentially, it's the character that you played in Red Dead Redemption, but before you got to him.
Oh, okay. So I never played any of them.
It basically fills in the backstory with the gang and everything else.
Yeah, I've never played Yeehaw Skyrim.
Grand Theft Horse.
No, it's Yeehaw Skyrim. It's really what it is. Like Grand Theft, because
it's good. I enjoy the hell out of it.
I'm sure I would like it, because I know there's like slow down mode or sharpshooter mode or whatever. Whenever you do whatever and it goes all red and you slow mo shoot people. I mean, Spider-Man does something.
But as far as the console I got, the controls could be a little bit better. They're a little awkward because they're too high up on the system.
Yeah.
There's just a little too much to handle. I like the.
Why haven't you brought it over?
It's in my bag. If you want to see it.
Oh yeah, show it to me afterwards. I want to see it. I've never seen one. I was considering getting one because there's so many good computer games, but I don't want them on my computer.
Right.
I don't. I don't WASD.
This has the OLED screen and the 1 terabyte hard drive with expandable memory.
Oh, it's got an OLED.
It's pretty. It's
pretty. OLED. Who cares? Just an OLED.
But once I finish that, I'll find something else to jump onto because I'm not on a network, so I need game recommendations that are all campaign based.
Well, I mean, just get all the God of Wars.
Yes, that's happening.
Okay, don't get all the God of Wars. Get the current God of Wars.
Yeah.
God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok. Those are.
I played the God of War, the very first one, and enjoyed the hell out of it.
And don't get me wrong, the original Greek series of God of War is fantastic, except for I think it's Chains of Olympus is the shitty one, which is a PSP exclusive. But like the original 3 were good. I never played 3 all the way through because my friend had it on his PlayStation because it came out on PS3. So I only played the first 2. Really enjoyed the first 2. And I absolutely love 2018 and the Norse mythology one.
Right. Love
that one. Plus the DLC that came out for Ragnarok. That was actually really cool because it added stuff back to the game. And you're like, oh, hey, a free expansion that allows you to unlock new weapons, new armor, and everything else like that. And it allows compatibility back into the main game. So if you still have stuff to do in like the main overworld or whatever, you take those upgrades back with you from the DLC, which is pretty fucking cool.
Yep. And we need to take a time out because I'm hurting.
You're hurting?
Yeah.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
Give me a sec.
Well, while Jeff has gone out to the bathroom, I would like to go ahead and shout out the Patreon again, because the Patreon actually does allow me to do things. And now that I've gained enough subscribers over there, I actually can probably start affording to do things in the future. So if you're interested in doing that, not only getting the uncut video version of this podcast, you can also join in on our 3 times a month, sometimes 4 times a month, video chats where we all just sit down and bullshit for a while. So that's at the $5 No Monica Nation level. But if you want to join in at any of the combos where you can get some of my reviews and stuff like that, you can get that. Or you can support everything I do for $12 a month and get a buttload of content, including vlogs, behind-the-scenes stuff, kind of, exclusives and things like that. Like, since Jeff is back, I actually filmed while Jordan was singing, so there is a complete raw version of him singing with no audio.
Oh, good.
On the Patreon. And he was on a couple of Patreon exclusive podcasts too. So, and I do release those straight to the Patreon there, so we can talk about things that we don't normally talk about. So we actually we had a lefty person who lives in DC on the Patreon.
Oh, really?
So shout out to Meg, my longest running patron. She came in when I was literally not doing anything on Patreon at all. And then when I was about to come in and shut it down, I realized there were 2 people still paying for the Patreon, and one of them I'd never even seen before. So when I completely revamped Patreon to what it is now, I changed. I said, hey, if this is something you still want to support, change over to this level now because it's the new upgraded minimum.
Right.
And so she did, and she stuck around. So finally got to talk to her for the first time on last week's Patreon podcast.
Oh, really? What'd you have to say?
Well, she was really scared about the future of the country with Donald Trump in charge.
And see, I don't get the fear. I'm not seeing the fear. I mean, everyone that's left-leaning is it's fear from everybody.
Yes. So she had very specific fears. Like, one was she has friends who literally work in some of the major departments of the government because, like I said, she works in D.C. And so she was worried that they might lose their job. And it's like, well, depending on where they're at, they might, because they want to get rid of a ton of the bureaucratic bloat and nonsense and the unelected class that basically runs our lives. So that's one of the big things. It's like your friends might lose their jobs, or they might get shuffled into other jobs depending on if they're qualified or if departments come together, whatever. Odds are department heads are going to be lopped off, and then, probably combine a bunch of stuff. They're going to restructure a lot of the bureaucratic nonsense that runs the actual everyday government. But for her, there was the other thing was the dictator for a day comments. So I literally pulled up the video for her, showed her exactly what he said. And because the guy said, it's like, people are worried about you abusing your power, going after your political opponents and stuff like that. He's like, they're worried you might become a dictator. He says, like, I'm not going to be a dictator, except maybe for one day. maybe day one. He's like, what do you mean? Well, we're going to lock down the border and we're going to do this other thing. And he said, and none of it was like truly like dictatorial type actions. And he's like, well, that's not really being a dictator. He's like, but that's the only time I'll use my absolute power. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like to shut down the border and do these other very specific things that had nothing to do with some of the crazy shit that they've been spouting on the news forever.
Oh, trust me, the fearmonger is only going to get worse.
I mean, they are. They're spinning it up constantly. I mean, like, I don't know. Have you seen this 4B fucking thing that's going on?
What's 4B?
I don't know what 4B actually means, but it's now where leftist women are shaving their heads, not wearing makeup, dressing in shitty clothes, and swearing off having sex with men until Donald Trump is out of office.
So the birth rate will decline in the overall population in the next 20 years. IQ is going to go up a little.
Well, if we give it the fluoride out of the water, yes.
Yeah.
That's actually part of this situation, is that where fluoride IQs have dropped steadily since fluoride was introduced to our water. Either way, but no, they're doing what's the word I'm looking, abstinence, which good luck. But they're all shaving their heads and basically making themselves look like a fucking cult.
Yeah, just stop yelling at me. Go away.
But they're going to.
I don't want to be yelled at. I want to be left alone. I'm that middle ground that just wants to be left alone.
So here's the other thing. I had some gay friends who said they were scared, but I'm not entirely certain why. Because I've heard nothing about anyone actually trying to overturn anything that has to do with gay people, especially Trump. Trump is super pro-gay.
Yeah.
He's the only president to come into office so far being pro-gay marriage. Like, Obama had to be convinced by Joe Biden 3/4 of the way through his fucking administration. 6 years into being president, that's when he finally said, hey, gay people can get married legally, finally. And then they're trying to say, I guess, that the conservative people, like on the court or whatever, are going to overturn gay marriage. It's like the only thing they might do is redefine or come up with a new definition and say marriage, and this is a big old if. The only thing that would make sense is if religious people have a problem with marriage being allowed, quote unquote, to gay people when the definition of marriage is between a man and a woman. Okay, cool. So we take marriage as a definition, make it entirely religious, and then we say civil unions for everything else revolving around the governmental union of two people in the eyes of your state.
Uh-huh.
Cool, done. But we want to be called married. It's like, okay, but we just changed the definition. It's like, so that you literally have the legal standing, but you can't force God to say, okay. But here's, and my argument was, if you have a church that is totally fine with performing gay marriages, an actual church, whatever religion that might be, whatever sect that might be, a proper church that recognizes homosexual marriage. Cool. Who cares? Your version of God said, yay. The only way you're going to know if it was good or bad is when you get to the end. When you hit the final punchline, you find out whether or not you did good, right? It's like, if you believe in God and if you believe in Christianity the way it is, then technically speaking, you're sinning ultimately.
Yeah.
In that aspect. Should we allow it just to be kind to people? Cool. But in the same vein, you also can't force Christian to do gay shit that they don't want to do. Like the whole Christian bakery in Colorado situation and in other places where they said they wanted a cake for the gay marriage. Then they sued the shit out of the bakery for saying no. It's like, that's their right. They're a business. They don't have to cater to you if they don't want to, period.
Well, they could have made that so much easier. Hey, I'm sorry, we don't have time. We're overloaded.
Yes, but they said specifically, sorry, we don't want to make a cake for a gay couple. Yeah. Whoop-de-doo, that's our religion. We have that freedom. Just like if you have the freedom now to get married, quote unquote, we don't have to support that because we have the right of choice, period, as a business.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. It's like, go to another bakery instead of suing the shit out of this bakery for telling you no.
Right.
It's like, you actually made it a problem.
In business, you have to learn the polite ways to tell people to fuck off.
I'm pretty sure they told them the polite way, and then they took it too far.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, we either have religious freedom or we don't. We either have freedom of speech or we don't. We either have the right to defend ourselves or we don't. And they all coincide together.
Yeah.
You know, so here's the problem. Not the actual problem. The situation, I should say. I don't care if gay people get married. My mothers-in-law are married. Whoop-de-doo. It's like, if they want to have the same benefits, especially any tax breaks or any type of governmental benefit,
inheritance,
any of that. If they want to have any of that, so be it. Call it something new. Call it a civil union. I don't care. If marriage, the word, is based in religion, and the religious people don't want to have that connected, that is their freedom. You know? So if a church doesn't want to recognize marriage between two homosexuals, cool. They have the religious freedom to do that. If the government wants to recognize it, who gives a shit? Let it. That's on you and the government. The state getting involved in your fucking relationship.
And that's what I don't like. I'm small government, low taxes.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
And a church is just a smaller government.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, church was government back in the day. You know, when church and the royalty and everything were all basically there until the church got too big. And then the royalty said, hey.
Oh, you mean an oligarchy?
Yeah. Well, we have oligarchy in a completely different way now. Yeah. But it's just the idea that I don't believe that they're ever going to reverse that. I think that would be that would be the worst possible look for Republicans to do. Is like, considering everything else and the coalition of people we've brought in to make this new government. Or I should say, not this new government, this new, what's the word I'm looking for? Administration. They're going to revamp the government, but it's just the idea that nobody is actually interested in taking that away. And then the other one's all screaming about the right to abortion. It's like, you've never had a right to an abortion. It's never been a right. It's like, you have freedom of having an abortion, perhaps, if your state says you can, because nobody's ever properly legally defined where life begins, or if the thing inside you is a human, or if the thing inside you is alive ever, until like 7 months or whatever. I don't give a shit. But the point is like, the only time, I don't know if I said this here, I know I said it on the Patreon podcast, the only way this ever gets settled permanently is that the Supreme Court declares the unborn persons. Period. If no if and or buts, no allotted time, no 6 weeks, none of the shit, from conception, that is a person. Because it can only ever be a human being. It's not going to be a fucking turtle. You know? It's like, from the moment that sperm fucking gets in there and that egg implants properly and then starts developing, that can only ever be a human life. So the only way that they ever get proper constitutional protections under the 14th Amendment is to declare the unborn persons. No ifs, ands, or buts. So that you need a legal means to get an abortion, by meaning you have to go to a court and say, much like with anybody who's going to take another person's life legally, you have to go and get permission from the court to do so. And that settles the entire debate. Whether you like it or not, that settles it legally. And then you can be like, okay, cool. If I want to get this abortion, I have to prove why I need it.
Right.
Or just take personal responsibility with your fucking sexual, reproductive organs. You know? I mean, I really do think that they've been told that the Handmaid's Tale is the future of America if Republicans are in charge, without ever realizing that is a leftist fucking utopia.
Yes.
It's like, holy shit. It's like, no, they're not conservatives for doing this shit. It's all leftist.
See, they're all so confused.
It's all Marxist.
Yeah.
It's all... They've
been brainwashed, and the left has implemented these Marxist ideas perfectly to brainwash everybody.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
They literally brainwash you. And to the point where literally Kamala supporters...
And it's just straight willful ignorance.
Yeah. To the point that we're doing this 4B bullshit where they're all shaving their heads. They're all basically eliminating their own beauty standards so that men will find them repulsive, and they're doing it as a group. It's like, okay, so you guys are definitely in cultish territory, 100%, which...
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
I mean, the Kool-Aid's just going to have fucking Plan B in it, so... But look, if they're swearing off sex for 4 years, that sucks for them. And be like, but you could also just not take hot loads to the vagina. I mean, there's plenty of other places you can make deposits that will not result in you getting pregnant.
Right.
Be more of a porn star, and you'd probably actually just not get pregnant as much.
I'm not speaking on it. It's never been on my radar. I was married young, had a kid young, and stayed married. So it's never been an issue. So it's not on my radar. I give zero fucks.
And well, I mean, you have a stepdaughter.
Yeah, and she's about to be married.
Does she want any abortions?
Oh.
Well, I mean, I think you should tell her as head of the family.
No, because I really don't give a shit.
I'm joking. It's like, men, we control your vaginas now.
Yeah,
like,
no.
We haven't figured out how to do that in all of time in memoriam, and yet somehow today
I got a hard enough time with my wife.
Yeah.
I don't need to be worrying about anybody.
You need to go lock down other people's too. But I mean, I think the real fear is that they're somehow basically going to have like, and this is like their ultimate insanity, I think, is that they think they're basically going to be turned into broodmares, have extra uteruses installed, and be constantly raped until they have babies and held prisoner to be a fucking literal puppy farm of humans from now on. Which, I mean, we need more humans on this planet right now. We're in decline. Despite, well, at least the nation is, other countries.
I was about to say India's doing just fine.
Yeah, other countries where they're not even remotely worried about it. And that's the other thing. Other countries also have abortion restrictions, and nobody gives them shit about it.
Yeah.
But here in America, when we want abortion restrictions, they go to war.
That's because people aren't busy enough. They don't have enough shit to occupy their times. They need to get a job.
Yeah.
They need to get a second job or a hobby and stop just absorbing all the crap that's thrown at them.
Yeah. Get out of the fucking house.
Do something.
Or in some cases, if you've been at work way too long, go home.
Step outside your comfort zone a little bit. Do something new.
Yeah. So, and on that note, my young cousin posted this dumb shit the other day. It said, basically, I'm okay paying more for bread as long as it means my daughter has a choice in the future. And I'm like, if the path we were going down, you won't be able to feed your daughter. Your daughter doesn't have a future to choose.
It'd be mass starvation.
It's like you can't fucking feed your child ideologies.
We'd be subjected to living on protein cubes. You ever seen Snowpiercer?
Yes.
Protein cubes.
I mean, they already, what is Soylent Green?
Yeah.
Basically. So, I mean, the whole point is, yeah, sure, pro-choice is great. Don't get me wrong. I do believe that there are situations. In fact, a lot of states, while they're basically, there's zero elective abortions. It's only in the cases of rape, incest, or health of the mother.
Yeah.
Because you can't say that an abortion is healthy for the baby. I don't know why they keep saying that. It's like at no point killing the baby is healthier for it. It might put it out its misery, unfortunately, but there's no way you can say that's a positive thing for health.
Well, that's still an impossible situation. You're a husband, your wife is in labor, and the doctor said you can only save one. What do you do? And that's heart-wrenching.
Generally speaking, they almost both die in those situations because that's how movies work. But here's the thing. There are birth complications. It's massively rare. There are complications that almost exclusively take the life of the baby. That's called a miscarriage. Which, this is the other thing. They've been told that miscarriages count as abortion, and if they report having a miscarriage, they will be arrested. And
really?
Yes, I'm not joking. They believe this shit. It's like a miscarriage is not an abortion by definition.
Yeah.
Because an abortion is the willful termination of a pregnancy to make sure that it ends the life of the baby.
Yeah.
Miscarriages are not willful. They're not purposeful. You don't go out saying, I'm going to have a miscarriage today. If you're going to say that, I'm going to go over here and get punched in the stomach to induce a miscarriage. That's an abortion. Mm-hmm. That's technically an abortion. Jessica had a miscarriage a couple of years ago. It was the first time we've actively somewhat gotten pregnant.
And that had to be heartbreaking.
It was. It's her second major. Well, it wasn't a major miscarriage. Her first one was a major miscarriage with her ex. Because she was literally pulling parts out of her.
Oh God!
It was far enough along that she was pulling out the remnants of uterine wall and stuff, basically on her own. And that's one reason why her man left her, is because she couldn't easily have a child with him, so she was no good to him. But like nobody's going to be tracking your fucking periods. Nobody's going to be hunting you down when you cross state lines to go get an abortion in another state. And this is what they believe. They believe that there will be an office that will watch your period trackers, know when you're pregnant because you've now put in your tracker that you are pregnant, will track you geographically to know you went to Colorado for a couple days and then came back, and now you've changed your situation in your period monitor. First of all, if you believe that, stop using the period trackers.
For real, put the phone down.
Take it out. It's like, why are you giving that information to
I can't
anyone?
say it enough to everybody. Put the phone down.
Yeah.
I say it constantly at home.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, Jessica has it too, but because we're trying to get pregnant, it makes sense. If you were trying to avoid being spotted getting accidentally pregnant, hey, how about you just don't use this fucking
Facebook
app? Don't use the fucking app, dumbass. It's like plain and simple. Don't use health apps. Don't use those things if you're worried about it, and then they can't track you. Whoop-de-doo. You went on vacation to Colorado. They're so dumb.
That expressed concerns and fear about our future. I'm just like, guys, relax.
Yeah.
Things will be okay.
Because they were already okay.
It's not. Yeah, they're okay already.
They were okay
It's
fucking
not gonna
4
get,
years ago.
It's not going to get worse.
The only way it's going to get worse is with them taking us to war with ourselves. That's the only way it gets worse.
That'll be bad for them.
Yes, ultimately. But the whole idea is they decide, in this case with the 4B movement.
It'll be the people that want to be left alone not having that option anymore. And then shit'll be over real quick.
Yeah. But the thing is, they're worried that Obama. Yes, Obama did do that. But no, they're worried that Trump will be a dictator, will lock down any political dissidents at all, which, frankly, if I would say lock up any...
I'd say he welcomes opposition. He thrives in that environment.
Well, he should lock up anybody who's a violent protester or anybody making terroristic threats. Those people should be locked up.
But anybody spouting rhetoric at him, he loves chewing them up and spitting them out.
Yeah, that's what he does. And the thing is, it's like there's so many people who used to be on the lefty side, and then they basically just saw some reason and went, "Wait a minute, this can't be true," and then looked into it and realized it wasn't. Like even that post I made the other day, basically like, look, if you're telling people to fuck off and never talk to you again, whether that's family or friends, just because they voted for Trump or supported him, because obviously I didn't technically manage to vote for him, so I'm in a gray zone with those people. But it's like I said, it's like, look, Trump supporters still love you for who you are. They may make fun of you because our president won, but that's going to be it. It's like, we don't have to go to war with you. We just don't agree with you. We don't need to tear you down and destroy your way of life. Your way of life can do that on its own if that's the way it's going to go. We don't need to actively take any measures towards you. We don't have to hate you. You've been told to hate us. Yeah, we've been told you guys are a threat to our way of life, but we're capable of maintaining our way of life whether you like it or not.
Yep.
You're only capable of maintaining your way of life by forcing us to acknowledge it.
Well, a lot of us, especially us insulated to a lot of this stuff in the South, we are what I like to call the ungovernable.
A lot of us.
We don't like being governed. We don't like being told what to do. And if you try to pin us down, much like COVID and all that, we're going to say, fuck you, and we're going to do our own shit.
We're going to find reason, and we're going to do our own thing.
Yep.
But the thing is, we're also very reasonable. We might be ungovernable, but we can be talked to.
Yeah.
As long as those talks aren't at the barrel of someone else's gun. If you're telling
that's
everyone,
what you call aggressive negotiations.
Yes, I am aware of Firefly. But the point is that, was it Firefly? Or was that a different show?
Different show.
What was that then?
Let's see here. What was the line? What do we do?
It was aggressive negotiations.
X-Men.
But said,
what do we do when democracy fails? Then we enter into aggressive negotiations. It was Beast.
Yeah, but somebody else said aggressive negotiations. They said it's negotiations, but with guns. It was another movie.
So I was quoting Beast.
I thought it was Firefly. Either way. But the point is that and I think this one thing where Meg did calm down, because literally we were all Trump supporters other than her. And we said, she's like, I'm glad that just to hear people who are happy about it and not worried about the future, and also, actively trying to dissuade my fears. It's just like, it's just the whole point of like, Look, and my other cousin, who's clearly a fucking moron, I don't know where he's getting any of his information from, which is why I made the post I made, was because of him. And I resisted the urge to comment on him. Like, I'm being good, because I didn't need to set him off any more than he's already set off. But even his own brother, like, his brother said, it's like, I still love you, bro. It's like, his brother's hardcore Trump supporter. Hardcore. Mm-hmm. And this dude literally dresses up as a Pokemon to go to the gym.
Really?
Yeah. Not joking. He dresses up as a Pokemon and goes to the gym to work
please
out.
Not Squirtle.
No, he has Gengar, Pikachu. He dressed it. Lord. But I mean, like, he does anime stuff. He does cosplay stuff. Cool. He's a fucking nerd. I don't care. That doesn't matter to me. Well, but when somebody who should have some form of sense of reason completely loses that, I go, okay, what the fuck happened to you? Like, something caused this. You didn't just happen to be a fucking Kamal supporter. What trauma befell you that you became open to these ideas? Because usually that's how this goes. You know, okay, I was raped and I had to get an abortion. They're telling me that if I get raped, I have to have the baby. So therefore, I'm going to go to this site. It's like, okay, but you didn't actually hear anything we said. Mm-hmm. You listened to what they said. We said there are exceptions for rape and incest. And also, Plan B is a thing. Well, that's always my argument.
Every time I've encountered this in the past week, I have
twice
lamented the division.
Uh-huh. That's what I said.
I haven't been mean. I haven't made fun of. I lamented and expressed my aggravation with the division and expressed my desire for, nationwide unity, working together. Yeah. Explaining that, my opinion that they're working to keep us divided because it's easier to manipulate and control us.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And they're proving that point.
And nobody wants to listen to it.
No, because, and I use this term very specifically, the useful idiots.
Yeah.
The useful idiots did their part, and they're still doing their part. And it's sad.
It's sad to see. One of my friends is in Colorado Springs, and she is one of the single smartest people I've ever known in my life. And I am, to use an old term, flabbergasted by her willful ignorance and complete focus on harshing on the negative on everything. I mean, she started lashing out.
Yeah.
And that's not like her. That is completely not like her.
And the crazy part with that is, that's what I've seen too. People who will lash out even though nothing is even being done to them.
Yeah.
No one even says anything. They just start freaking the fuck out in every direction and hope they hit someone who will fight
once
with them.
again, dude, medically unemployed.
Yeah.
Has entirely too much time to watch TV, entirely too much time to sit around and do nothing without a productive outlet.
Uh-huh.
Going back to get a job, do something.
So here's the funny part. I have a job, but I also sit around and do nothing. But somehow I never became a leftard.
See, I never get to do nothing, and it's my favorite thing to do.
You used to have a little bit more nothing to do.
I used to have more nothing, but now I have almost no nothing.
You should get a little bit more nothing time.
I got nothing on Tuesdays. I could pencil you in for nothing on Tuesday.
Oh yeah, well no, Tuesday's not nothing. Tuesday's your day to fucking try to get shit done. That's why I don't try not to bother you on Tuesdays.
Well, that's why a few weeks ago I started putting my foot down.
Yeah. Well, that was because we were almost being forced into a makeup day.
No, that's my day off.
Yeah, we were being forced into a makeup day. So that was the only reason why we had to possibly do Tuesdays, or it might be the only evening time we have.
Or hell, the month before that when we were like 3 Tuesdays in a row, and it was just
yeah, that was a bad month.
That was killing me. It was killing me.
That was fucked no matter what. I mean, like,
so you can tell that third week I was dragging.
Well, because it's not good for me either. Because it's good for the fact that Jessica's out of the house and we have to do evenings. It's not a problem. But just the idea that like Monday is my day off, so it makes more sense to manage it on Monday for me. I have other time, but my schedule's wonky. Like last Tuesday, I got off work at 3:30. That's super late for me. Mm-hmm. So, like, we would have had to schedule that shit late as possible to even manage it. And like I said, we ended up doing the thing with
me showing up here in work clothes.
Yeah, literally. So, I mean, it's just the idea that part of me wonders, like, where did I get the sense of... I mean, it had to have been how I was raised. Like, my parents are mostly conservative. I was raised in church.
I think the biggest part of it, they're... that generation now that's lashing out, the generation that's mad, the generation that's shaving their heads, and
but
forcing themselves into celibacy, they were raised by a television.
But I was raised by a television. Like, by all definitions, I should be a fucking leftard.
Well, good point, because both my parents worked my entire life.
Both my parents were professionals. I mean, my dad retired early, but like I still watch TV all day.
Latchkey kid.
Yeah. So I watched TV all day. You know, I got home. I mean, I still go outside and play with my friends, you know, once after school, do homework when I have to. But like, I was basically ungoverned for the most part. Like Rich said, that ungovernable. I was mostly ungoverned. Has to do with
location as well. Location.
No, because I know fucking idiots here who've lived here their entire life and they're fucking leftards.
Yeah.
But it had to have been at some point, and I think it does come down to medications, specific medications and treatments, and lack of some type of moral core. Because I was raised in church, albeit Catholic church.
Yeah.
You know, look, I was an altar boy who didn't get touched. I should be jealous.
Well, my parents are concerned.
I bet, had I been sexually assaulted as an altar boy, I'd be a leftist.
Probably.
I guarantee. I was like, unfortunately, I got that out of the way when I was younger. I didn't have to worry about it. When I got to church, I'd be like, "This again?" No. It's like, no, I got sexually assaulted by my babysitter instead, but it's fine.
Dude.
What, you didn't know that?
No.
Oh, I thought I mentioned that. I mentioned it here. I guess you just didn't hear it.
Dude, no, I'm not going to make you. No, moving on. I'm not going to make you relive that shit.
It's not traumatic. It's fine. I mean, it's traumatic, but it's nothing that bothers me. I talk about it all the time because I've actually gained really good friends after we both shared our sexual trauma.
Okay.
I was 3 years old. I had a babysitter. My parents went to go do whatever they did, bowling, whatever. I think she was drunk. I think she got into the alcohol. She managed to talk me into taking off my shorts and then proceeded to attempt to fuck a 3-year-old.
Dude.
Held me down and literally grinded herself on me while I was...
What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't understand. I think she was retarded. And I mean...
Think?
No, I think literally, not only was she probably drunk, I think
I'm
she was...
surprised you're not wearing a wig with a boob job right now.
But the thing is, I think the only effect that had on me is that I like women on top. No joke. I literally think that's where me being on bottom comes from. I think that's the only real trauma I've gotten from that, or it might have something to do with my abandonment issues because my parents weren't around to protect me. They were out busy doing whatever they were doing. But the thing is like, as a kid, I had no clue what the fuck happened to me. It wasn't until way later I watched a video on sexual assault, and it was like all these different cases, and the irony being that almost entirely it was young boys getting assaulted by men or young girls being assaulted by men. Mine was a female. So I was like in a very small minority of young boys sexually assaulted by a female, which is really strange. Like, usually it'll happen later, maybe, but not as a 3-year-old. So that's why I have no clue. I honestly do think she was drunk, or at least something, because it was kind of out of nowhere. We were watching TV in my parents' bedroom.
No arrests, no.
I believe there were some proceedings because I remember sometime later somebody was watching me during the day, which was odd. And my parents came home both very well dressed. So I think they went to court. Okay. I honestly don't know. I reported what happened.
Okay.
I told them what happened after the fact.
No, that was weird.
Yeah. And it was one of our neighbors. She was literally like down the street, one house. So that's why it was even more fucked up that they hired a neighbor to fucking come do that. And then, of course, she still lived in the neighborhood after the fact. I think she maybe got booted off somewhere for a while, but I have no clue. But either way, like, so I forgot what my point was even before that. But I think it was just the idea that, like, all of the shit that happened to me in my life, in theory, I think if you introduce some type of drugs at a certain stage, I probably would be a leftard.
Yeah.
And I use that term properly. These fucking out of control, hysterical fucking people is what I'm referring to. I mean, like, but I had friends. I played outdoors. I was raised by 90s television, 80s and 90s television, which ironically was basically all superheroes telling you moral stories, you know, raised in church, effectively, even a Catholic church. Went to CCE classes, all that kind of stuff like that. And then eventually went into the Christian church as a teenager with my girlfriend. So that was a part of my life that whole time. Sexual immorality was never really part of it for me. Maybe that's part of my trauma. So it's like, I've always been a moral person. I've always tried to do what's right, even if I was a selfish piece of shit for a good chunk of my life. Like, even now, like, I'm nowhere near as self-centered as I used to be. I do a lot for a lot of people. You know, sometimes I don't tout the shit I do. You know, and if there's like really good results, like what happened with Jordan last week, I didn't have to do that. I came up with that last Monday at men's group, and then we made it happen Tuesday, and Wednesday he had a new job and money in his pocket. And I only did it because I know that I've got good fucking people in my chat, you know, who would help support somebody.
Right.
You know? And it's like, I think that lacking the moral core, whether that's from your parents or from church or something, or maybe it's just not watching cartoons or fucking the decades of Nickelodeon TV where parents weren't important and kids ruled their own lives.
Dude, Rocco's Modern Life was...
That's the adult cartoon.
Dude.
That was Rocco's he was a fucking sex caller.
Well, and that was my mom's favorite cartoon.
Yeah. Nobody covers this. Rocco, his job was literally a phone sex guy.
Yeah.
That's literally what his job was. Okay, those were adult cartoons. Those were not made for children.
And they're still worth watching today. If you're ever really, really bored.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I grew up on He-Man, Transformers, and G.I. Joe, where they literally put a message at the end of the fucking show for you.
I was a little later, Ren and Stimpy.
Okay, yeah. Well, you got in the gross out era.
Yeah.
The gross out, I mean, you're not that much younger than me, but like
I'll be 40 this coming.
Yeah, you're barely younger than
Wednesday.
me.
I'll be 40 Wednesday.
Yeah, but you just didn't watch the shows I watched specifically. But like, also, I was raised by the TV because my parents weren't there. I had fucking cassette tapes.
Oh, I had football and baseball and other stuff I was doing.
And I was in Cub Scouts. And once again, hold on. Now I'm starting to think about this. Catholic Church, Cub Scouts. I should have been touched a lot. So look at it this way. If I had been molested.
They probably tried, but you were like Stuart going, no.
Ironically, I think that, I do think our scoutmaster, who was one of my friend's dads, I think eventually got taken out for something. I don't know if it was that or like stealing or getting drunk all the time. I don't think it was sexual immorality.
They didn't like the chubby kid, huh?
I wasn't that chubby as a kid.
You weren't?
No, I was active.
I was always huge.
I was
never fat, but like a head taller than everybody.
I mean, for a while there, I was a little chubby, like before my growth spurt. But once my growth spurt happened, I was fucking lean.
Yeah.
Like I was skinny. You see, like fucking 13-year-old me, I am like skinny, and like I'm like 110 pounds soaking wet and fucking 5'9". Because I only grew a little bit after that. But it's just the idea that I think these people, they lack a moral core, or they're rebelling against the moral core they already had for whatever reason. I've guessed trauma. I listen to a lot of Dr. Drew talking about people like this because he's dealt with a lot of mental health.
Actually, the works of Dr. Drew Pinsky is one of the things that's helped me with my recovery and my semi-sobriety.
Yeah.
Also,
I like the semi-sobriety.
His work with addiction medicine and pain management.
Yeah.
It was one of the things that allowed me to do my job as a jailer way more effectively because I learned how to communicate with these people and kind of figured out how their brains worked a lot better.
Yeah.
Dr. Drew's a badass. I love everything he does.
Yeah. And once he started getting off that lefty high horse he was on there for a minute and started seeing a little bit more reality, dude, he's like a Trump supporter now, especially with RFK joining Trump's cabinet.
Right.
He's super on Trump's side now. Not always the rhetoric, but still the ideas are there. And I think this is the thing that, and it bothers me so much when you try to talk to these people. It's like, I know you were raised by good fucking people. How did you end up this way?
Speaking of skinnier versions of us, that popped up. That was a ways back.
Wow.
That was 9 years ago.
I'm just looking at the horrible blue color on those walls. The fucking brown couch and the sky blue wall.
That's my buddy's place, man. It's
wasps.
It's a little different.
No wasps on that wall.
I actually helped do a lot of the drywall in that house.
Yeah. But do you get what I'm saying though? It's like, even you were raised, in and out of church and stuff like that.
I was in church until high school, solidly.
Yeah.
And senior year, I believe.
Yeah, but then you were in the military, which not necessarily morals, but regimented life.
It's a definite.
By the way, it's Veterans Day. We forgot to mention
it. It is Veterans Day.
We forgot to mention it's Veterans Day.
I was raised by a Marine.
Yeah.
And then a very religious. Both my mom and dad are very religious, very conservative.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, you grew up in a conservative household.
I don't think I had a choice.
Well, clearly you did. Well, the fact that you didn't hyper rebel is the key there.
Right.
Because in that case, most people would have. You either go, I find that, like, you go along and, like, you buy into all of it, and then your life just is that, yay. Or you hyper rebel against religion and restrictions, like, any kind of regimented ideas, like military teaches you structure, personal responsibility, working as a team, which you still need to work on that a little bit.
Working as a team?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, you're very good at wanting to work alone.
I do.
Yes. I mean, I do that too, but that's because I literally had no team. But usually I'm just the team. I'm a team leader.
I prefer being a solo operator. It's much more fun.
Because you don't trust people.
Pretty much.
And you don't
I don't like
people.
Well, I really don't like relying on someone else to do their job to get mine done.
Well, yeah. But when you're working together.
Still, a lot of times I feel like dead weight, or they're just irritating.
Yeah, well, they can be irritating and useful.
Yeah,
like me. I'm both.
Speaking of dead weight,
I need to drop off some dead weight here in a little bit.
You do, chunky monkey.
No, I just mean literally. I gotta fucking. I can tell I'm backed up, and I don't like it. No, but it's just
shred the red.
No, I'm not shredding the red. But I think that what we got with this election last week was a referendum on a system that has been corrupted by immorality, and we still see a massive chunk of the immoral nations. Not saying that all people that are Democrats are immoral, but the leftists are. The extreme left are highly immoral. That's where they live their life. Extreme right people can also be immoral in their actions.
Look at Hollywood.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I mean, it's awful.
Oh, in theory, they're all going to be fucking leaving now.
Bye.
I hope so.
I hope you pack.
Don't go to Canada, though. Canada doesn't need more.
Yeah, go to Mexico. See how you do there. Or
a lot of them probably would be fine in Mexico.
The Middle East. See how you do with the Middle East.
Talk to your abortions over there.
Yeah.
Try to speak out loud over there while you're at it.
Tell them you're homosexual.
Yeah. Try to drive a car. No, tell them you're trans. They'll love that.
Oh, yeah.
They love that. They'll be like, trans what? Goat? Well, you're a goat now.
You'll have no makeup.
Well, if you really want to go there, certain particular chunks of that religion.
Until today, I've never seen a blue-haired goat.
So I might have to remove that. But no, but look at it this way. In some of those the religious castes over there, as you well know, their sexual immorality comes from the fact that they're not allowed to touch women because of their religion. Mm-hmm. It's like, so until you're married and all this other stuff, you can't even have sex with a woman, which is why they have sex with men or other things.
Yeah.
Until they eventually have a woman, and they lock them down and do all the other things that they have to do with their religious.
Well, we saw
stuff.
that on the Grand Tour.
True.
The donkey was your first wife.
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, but not to compare that. I'm just pointing that out because you brought up the Middle East. But it's just the idea that I think people once again, like you said, they're bored. They're at home. They've been locked down for years since fucking COVID. People lost common sense because they lost their connection to people. And that's one reason I said, like, look, if you feel this way, if you feel like you cannot get along with your fellow Americans or they are specifically your enemy, stop what you're doing. Fucking pray a little while, whatever that might be for you, whatever prayer might be, just a moment of silence, think about life, and then get out in the real world, talk to real fucking people, get off the fucking internet, as we sit here on the internet talking. But it's like, if you and I hadn't started doing this in person, I'd be in a slightly different situation, a bit more cut off from people. Probably a lot less people in real life, like not going out to trivia, probably not going out and doing a lot of other things, and I'd still be locked down doing my best to talk to people on the internet to do this podcast instead, which is fine. We did that for 80 some odd episodes, but I feel like having connection directly to other people and getting to know them, seeing real life, not this weird fucking through toxic lenses of the internet, you know? And I think people have rebelled against the idea, like they said, Twitter is now a horrible fucking place. It's like, no, Twitter represents America now.
Right.
Because everyone was allowed to talk, no matter what side you're on. The only reason you can get kicked off is if you call for violence or post, child porn or whatever. Break community standards, technically.
Which are, in that opinion, are standards and not opinions.
Yes. And now people are like, oh, it became this right-wing hellhole. It's like, oh, you mean you got to hear right-wing opinions? It's like weird how quiet it got.
Yeah,
and
we got opinions too.
Yeah, it's like we have thoughts and opinions too. It's like, and that's why I love that Elon Musk is going to be involved in this administration as well. Whatever he might do, if they actually create the Department of Government Efficiency, or Doge as he calls it, then that will be amazing. Especially if Ron Paul joins him, because Ron Paul said, "Hey, can I jump in on that too?"
Nice.
I'll be like,
I want to see a Rocket Force One.
No. Well, I mean, Space Force One.
Space Force. There you go.
It would be Space Force One is what it would be. Oh my
President
God.
Trump has to be.
Oh no,
in the Middle East.
The big giant fucking Trump penis jet. It's like literally it says Trump on the side. It's a big gold fucking rocket, 20 stories tall.
Lands itself. You got to be in the Middle East, and
Elon, we're going to space.
It's going to be the greatest rocket ever made.
Some would say the best. So I've heard. I've been told.
I got on the rocket. We went in the sky. We went so fast. We went so far.
We're gonna go check on the International Space Station personally.
And then it landed itself. It was so gentle.
Hold on. Look at it this way. Trump could be the first president in space.
That'd be great.
How crazy! And like, it'd be one thing if we got an astronaut.
My fellow Earthlings.
Yes. President of Earth. No, Trump could not be president of Earth. Although, like, we got that list of dictators who were like, oh, fuck, Trump's coming back. And look, I want a president that dictators go, oh, fuck, he's coming back. You know? I don't care what the blue hairs say. The dictator's going, oh, fuck.
Some Putin or any of the other dictators start raising hell, and he calls them from space in orbit.
Hey, he sends him a picture from his phone of the Kremlin. It's like super zoomed in from orbit. Hey.
I'm in low Earth.
Well, you heard that story. What he did to the fucking leader of
Hamas?
No, not Hamas. The other one that
Antifa.
No, the fucking Afghans. What's the word I'm looking for? The guys who
Taliban.
Taliban. What he did to the leader of the Taliban back when they had this meeting about stuff, and then Trump, before the meeting's over, he just hands him a picture of his house.
Nice.
And he goes, "Why are you handing me a picture of my house?" He's like, "Let me know when you figure it out."
No.
It's like, it's like the point is, we know where you live, and we have that sitting right there.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, this is why. So why are you showing me a picture of my house? I was like, because that's why. And like, oh yeah, but yeah, no, it's just like, will it be the perfect administration? No, because none of them are. Will it be?
There's no such thing as a perfect.
Will it be a massive fucking rediversion of our nation? I hope so. Especially if we do start selling LNG to fucking Europe.
Yep.
And bypassing the Russian gas lines.
I'm happy. We've got a pipeline coming through our property.
Yeah.
And give us more money.
I mean, oh, that's what he said. He said, lock down the border and drill, baby, drill. That's what he said. So he said, lock down the border and drill, baby, drill. That will be his only efforts as dictator. It's like, we're going to make sure the border is completely shut down while we deal with this shit. And then we're going to drill for oil like we've never drilled for oil before. We're going to fucking harvest Alaska for all its shit. And we're going to bring jobs back to America. We're going to tariff the fuck out of everyone else so that we can reduce our fucking income tax and Social Security tax. So no tax on Social Security for fucking retirees. Yeah, let's do that.
Let's get rid of property tax. Again.
We'll see about that one. But income tax, if we get rid of income tax, then who cares if you have property tax?
Yeah.
And then, okay, I'm fine with that as long as I don't have to pay the fucking government money just to have a job. But if I have to pay taxes on my property, because
I don't know. Property tax kills me. It's a piece of property's been in a family for 100 years. It's already paid for.
And I get that. But at some point, we have to have money to actually build stuff.
Then produce something, sell something.
Yes, we sell you the street that you drive on, and all you have to do is you pay for it once a year.
Oh, we do that.
Yeah, exactly. You pay for it once a year. Now, regulate fucking property tax, so that they never go up,
or that they don't go up by 20% every fucking year.
It's like, how about property taxes just be locked down?
Yeah, sure. It was $900 last year, and look, because of COVID, it's now $1,800.
Yeah, or as we discussed on that episode that got broken in half, over 65, retired, no property tax. Yeah. If you've had your property for more than 10 years, no property tax. The longer you've had it, basically they should fucking pay you to live there. It's like, cool, keep the value there, because you got to be able to pass something down. He's like, you've actually reduced the value of it by forcing people to not be able to maintain their fucking property, because now it's worth nothing, because the only value it has is being able to be passed to other people.
Because that's one thing I'm looking at already is paying property taxes on 66 acres.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that it's only going to go up, and knowing my financial income's can't be stable. It's got to grow even after I stop working.
Well, see, all you got to do is just give me 10, and we'll build out our own shit.
No, we don't divide. We don't divide for shit.
And then I can have my little fortress on your property. We can build some cool shit out there. We'll have a whole podcast studio next to the gun range.
I'm going to do everything I can not to build, not to divide, because I want to be the cranky old man.
Can we have a racetrack?
I won't.
Dad, can we make a racetrack? I'm going to live on your property. He's like, I want to. You know what? Okay, so last thing before we go on this topic, I have one. If I ever somehow get like a few hundred acres at my disposal that I can do whatever the fuck I want with, you know, just this imaginary world where I can just do whatever I want. I want to map out the main roads of River Plantation, elevation curves, and have recreate it as a racetrack because it is an awesome fucking concourse.
Well, see, we can't divide because we need the yearly harvest of hay to get our animals through the winter.
Well, you still have hay.
We still have hay, but we don't want less hay.
We can still make hay.
And if we get cattle, we're going to need we'll go from selling the hay to not selling hay and still getting our animals through the river.
You just have the racetrack run the winter through the fucking hay. That way, you know, it's a fun thing.
Anyway,
like Clarkson's farm. Have your Lamborghini tractor.
Right.
Yeah. But no, it's just just to wrap it up, it's like I don't understand the fears other than the fear mongering that's been done. I don't understand why a straight white man has any fears whatsoever, because we've been told you're superior to all others of any color and or sex.
And at the same time, everything's our fault now.
True. Well, I mean, that's always been true.
Yeah.
I mean, we conquered this land. We stole it.
It's my fault, really.
Remember, we stole.
What do I do
land.
other than work?
Yeah, we stole this land, Jeff. Remember, we stole this land from all the natives that were on it. All of them.
Yep.
Specifically. Not my people, though. My people came here after that was done. It's like, I'm sorry, my family's immigrated here after all that was done. So
y'all were displaced just like the Native Americans.
It's like, yeah, it's like the Swedish part of my family definitely didn't take any land from the Native Americans. They might have bought it from some white people who did that, but they didn't specifically do that. But also the Ukrainian people certainly didn't do that, which actually my cousin is Ukrainian, so he should be able to claim that he's a person of color.
We're getting some guests over Thanksgiving that are from Ukraine, and they're bringing Ukrainian dishes.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
Like what?
I don't know.
Like
Ukrainian.
I mean, holubche?
No clue.
Yeah, I think I said
you
that right.
You can keep saying things, and they haven't told me anything, so I can't tell you anything.
So if I'm pronouncing that correctly, that's the cabbage rolls.
Oh.
So it's basically a cabbage meat pie with tomato sauce.
Kind of like the Greek masuka.
Yeah, but it's tomato based.
Yeah.
Yeah, moussaka.
Yeah, moussaka.
Yeah. Then there's of course pierogies. But
I like
pierogies are just Eastern European in general.
Yep, they're good.
But the Ukrainian, they usually do a lot more different styles.
Anyway, I'll let you know here in a few weeks what they bring.
I mean, Thanksgiving's going to be interesting this year because God knows how it's going to go.
Where are you going?
Probably to my parents' house for a minor one.
If that falls through, come to the farm.
Well, I mean, I doubt it'll fall through, but the question is, do we go to the in-laws as well at any point?
Well, like I said,
but also don't know. But what I was getting at is, given the political divide, I don't know if there's ever going to be a big family Thanksgiving again, because most people started branching off because everybody's family's big except for ours.
Well, the two of you are welcome up there if you want to come.
Yeah, I understand, but we also have our own family.
I know you do.
We have two other families we almost never see. It's like we never go see
on purpose.
Well, her family is an hour and a half away, and my family is my family, which we do need to get over there. But either way, now that it's rained, we can go burn some shit. And they have two more trees that they took down.
Oh, good grief.
Well, no, it didn't fall. They took them down because they were going to go down. Two big dead fucking oaks that needed to come down. Either way. But yeah, no, Thanksgiving, we don't have plans yet. But the thing is like my mom will likely need help cooking.
Yep.
So she doesn't have to do everything. So if I can take
it's going to be weird. I'm not able to be up all night and up all morning cooking because I'm working every single holiday this year.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
I'm not going to come over and make the chicken.
No.
Whenever you're not there to cook, I usually end up having to. Somehow, when we have parties at other people's houses and Jeff doesn't end up cooking, I end up having to take over for Jeff. And I did not even get volunteered for that. It just happened.
Here, you do this.
It's like, oh, I guess I have to do this now. If Chad's not doing it specifically like last time. But because I wouldn't mind maybe we don't want to do a whole turkey, but I wouldn't mind smoking up some turkey breasts or something. Just do that and brine it for 10
What am
hours.
I doing? I'm doing brisket, pulled pork, beef spare ribs, pork, baby backs.
Oh, I did pulled pork last year. That's right.
I'm just kind of going barbecue nuts because that's most of our Thanksgiving is barbecue.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. So I did bust out the Wagyu picanha.
Nice.
Did it as steaks this time. It's already eaten. Oh, sorry. It could have. So I got it up. I got it up to about 110, and then did my best to sear. Mm-hmm. And it still was a little undercooked for my taste. Still very tasty, though.
Yeah.
But I probably didn't have to dry brine them the way I did, or dry age it a little bit for 4 hours. Probably would have been okay. Could have trimmed off some of the extra stuff, but the flavor was very nice. But it was very small compared to a full size picanha.
Right.
Because they just called it a Wagyu. What do they call it? Whatever roast, sirloin roast.
Yeah.
So it is literally a picanha, like straight up, like same cut and everything. Smaller than a standard one, but also fairly affordable. Like I think it was like $17 for that one, whereas a full size picanha that I've been getting is like 40.
Yeah, I've made one Wagyu ribeye, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, I never buy the actual full on Wagyu.
I might
just
be
buy the choice.
Doing that Wednesday on my own.
Yeah, but I did them on the smoker till they were up to about 110 internal, then tried to sear to the best of my ability. And they came out fine. Don't get me wrong, with the veggies and everything else like that. And I dumped the fucking meat juices on top of everything.
Oh yeah,
which is really fucking good. But I think next time I'll do what this one dude told me to do with what he does with his picanhas. So he cooks the whole thing, but he'll smoke the whole thing as it goes to an internal temp of 135, and then sear the whole fucking thing, and then cut it up. I'm like, huh. I was like, so you cook it like a roast, but you only cook it to a medium rare temp inside instead of well done.
Yep.
And then, no joke, Sunday, Guga put out one. He had never done a roast or picanha as a roast, and he did it as a hanging roast. So he hung it with twine over potatoes and onions and stuff like that in the pan. So all the drippings went into the fucking pan. And then he cut it thin like a fucking, or cut it down like roast beef.
Yeah.
I was like,
oh, like on a deli slicer?
You didn't go super thin, but he went thin.
So I finally got a half-ass deli slicer. So I love that thing.
He probably did like 16th inch.
Okay.
So it wasn't hyper thin because you would have to chill it and all that, but he cut it super thin like that. And I'm like, so you would do it like a roast beef sandwich, like straight up cut.
Or make a hellacious French dip.
Yes. Because I mean, basically, that's what he
and then turn all the drippings into your au jus. Oh,
but all the drippings ended up absorbing into the potato, so there was no extra.
Well, then do a hearty au jus.
Yeah, I mean, he did it in the oven. I can't do that because mine's electric.
So I've done French dips, and I made a horseradish au jus. Horseradish au jus.
Yeah, that's hard to say. that is really hard to say. Horseradish au jus.
Horseradish.
Avada Kedavra. Yeah, exactly. But I think you could probably do that, a smoked picanha roast in yours because you have that vertical space.
Oh yeah.
So you could probably pull out 2 or 3.
Oh, I've been eyeballing the rotisseries that are the clockwork mechanisms.
Yeah. Well, that's how they work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want a shawarma.
Me too.
I want to do picanha. I want to do picanha proper fucking Brazilian style.
I want to borrow it to do pastor tacos.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it that way, but I want it for doing proper Brazilian picanha.
Yep,
the way it's done on the spit.
But stacked?
No, you cut it into steak form, but you do it instead of stacking it like you did the other way. You do it this way on the skewer, and you do the rotating cook, and then you slice it off instead of taking the hunks of meat.
Okay.
And it's done like a normal shawarma. So it's like Brazilian shawarma.
I like good shawarma.
I like picanha. It's just good.
Now I want to go to Damasi's.
Isn't there go to the new place that's down here off South Loop?
Well, it's not a buffet.
No, it's not, but it's still good.
Because at Damasi's, I load up on kebabs, pita, and garlic and chili sauce.
Kebabs.
I'm happy as can be.
Kebabs. Yeah, let's do a Mediterranean Thanksgiving.
You're ready to wrap this joker up, send her home.
That's fine. But I had one last thought. Oh, you said your birthday is
Wednesday.
This Wednesday.
Yeah, and Luke's is the day after.
Okay, we're gonna go to Camilla's. You mentioned it.
I don't know what I'm doing.
If you go out to eat,
I'll know in the afternoon if Amy wants to do anything. If I don't, I'll holler at you.
Yeah, because if y'all are gonna go out and do things, or if you're gonna go do things, holler.
Okay.
Yeah, it's your birthday. We should celebrate a little.
Yep, a little bit.
We won't make a big deal out of it, but we'll go do a thing. Because, might as well. What's the point of having friends?
Well, I
can't annoy you on your birthday.
Well, I got my River. She's at the apartment now, so I got to take her into
Wait, and you're turning 40.
Yeah.
Oh, we have to fucking get all the black balloons.
Don't y'all leave
fucking
me alone.
Lordy.
Ever since Luke was born, the day after my birthday's always taking a second seat, and I'm just used to it by now.
Yeah. Well, that's like my cousin.
I'd rather my boy have a good time. And
oh yeah, my nephew's second son was born on my birthday. I was like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
It's like, not that you cared about mine at all. I'll get into this. All right, so guys, we're gonna wrap this episode, and I'm gonna do a tiny bit of extra for the Patreon after the fact. So guys, make sure you do the like and subscribe and all that kind of shit. And especially here on the YouTubes, we're so close to 100 subscribers. Not that it means anything, but it's a nice round number, and I'd like to see it for Jeff's birthday.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, it won't happen, but still. Like, this episode comes out after your birthday.
Right.
That won't do any good. So, guys, and then anything else? Oh, yeah, write into the email if you got any ideas. If you want to vent about Trump and what you think might be wrong, or you want to vent about the leftists, do so at NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail@gmail.com, or send us a voicemail over on the message.
Yep, hit us up on Facebook.
It is weird to not have Sean on this episode. He has not missed one.
I think he got mad because I told him to record it the night before.
No, I think he's been super busy.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't, even though I mentioned you were going to be here in like an hour, he didn't even make the effort.
I'll start bugging him on Monday nights.
Look, he does it because it's
Sunday
fun,
nights.
but I don't want to push him if he's not going to be able to.
True. Hell, I could actually come up with something.
Yeah.
Instead of just stare at my tablet all night.
That's true. That's very true. But with that, guys,
Okay, bye.